Hello. I just want to give you a heads up before this episode starts. We've been plagued with some really awful technical difficulties lately. So Robert's audio in this episode gets kind of rough at some points. We did our best to salvage it, but right now we are trying to figure out a better way of recording because we have just had so many problems, and I don't even think that we can blame Mercury being in Gatorade or whatever the kids say. So stick with us. We're sorry. We know it's rough at some places, but I think you guys are going to love this episode. I think it's a lot of fun. Enjoy. Welcome to the Puck Crew. I'm your captain, Camille, and I have my alternates with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
And today we have our returning rookie, Erin Hattamer. Welcome back, Erin.
Hello, thank you for having me. I learned how to read to be here.
Someone did specifically send us a message to request that we bring Erin back. So shout out to that person. We listen.
Shout out to that person. My ego is now gone for the next 2 months. I'm going to show that to everybody and be like, did you hear about that?
I have fans.
Erin, it's so funny because we were going to have you on earlier and then scheduling didn't work out. And now, listeners, we have like every single episode for the rest of Heated Rivalry booked with another friend of ours.
Booked and blessed.
To share our friends with you guys. Yeah, we share here. So today we're diving into chapters 12 and 13 of Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reid. Erin, of course, before we get started, will you tell everybody where to find you on socials?
You can find me on Instagram at Erin Hatta, ErinHatta, or Erin Hattamer, my full name, at TikTok.
Whee!
Before we start with book club thoughts, there is something important that I need to do because I have acquired a tuna melt.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Wait,
And
what bread is that? What is that?
I don't really know. It's with the bread it came on.
It's not like, but that's not like sourdough or something.
No,
so it's a little
not.
bit of a variant. Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's
To be fair, as it's made in the book, it's made with like a regular old baguette, so...
Yeah, it's on a baguette.
I really want to have a Heated Rivalry viewing party, although I think it will be hard because the second there's a sex scene, I have to kick everyone out. But I want to have like
Right,
I
for
want to
sure.
have like a viewing party, and I'm like, oh, I want to make fun drinks and like and food, and people are like tuna melt, and I hate the smell of tuna, and I'm like, am I willing to sacrifice my nose for Heated Rivalry? Answer is yes.
I will say this doesn't really smell like tuna at all.
Tuna's gross. I hate seafood. I'm from New England. It's sad.
Here's my thing where it's like, I like tuna. It's quick, cheap, easy protein, especially for someone who's like trying to lose weight and gain muscle.
Okay, Shane Hollander.
No, hot tuna. It's the idea of melting cheese on the tuna that has been the block for me. So it is scaring me a little bit just looking at it. But
Also,
I was
wait,
like, if I'm gonna talk shit about tuna melts, I have to back it up with having actually had one. So everyone gets to be here for my first bite of a tuna melt.
ASMR.
I don't know how ASMR it'll be. Camille, edit out the gross chewing sounds.
Crunch.
I don't think that was crunchy at all.
Damn, this bitch ain't even crunchy.
I mean, I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine?
It's fine.
I love a tuna melt. But you're really supposed to eat them like open-faced.
Who the fuck eats a sandwich open-faced?
It's not a sandwich.
No, I just got to the cheese. I think it would be better if it was just like tuna and lettuce.
You
like,
just got to the cheese? You took a bite 30 seconds ago. What is going on?
Well, the taste of cheese hit my mouth and I was like, I don't know if I like the cheese. Okay, so I feel a little vindicated. I am going to finish this though, but
I can't imagine just getting my shit rocked and then being like, oh shit, I want fish. Like, I just can't. Like, you don't want cigarette or a glass of wine? You're like, hell yeah, let's have a tuna melt. Gross.
Randomly in my comment section on the pit details recently, somebody commented, yuck, 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 ew, yuck. Am I right, Camille? And I was like,
oh my
yes,
god, the
correct.
listeners are branching out.
We're infecting people. We had an email, we got, I think, a comment too, being like, this is not situationship behavior has entered my lexicon. And I'm like, good, I'm infecting the populace.
Mm-hmm. People like to listen to us while they run. Mal's very happy about that.
I know, that's made me so happy to hear. Like, I'm like, is it something that I said in an episode that is generating these comments? Because we've gotten like 3 or 4 in the last like 24 hours. And I say, hey, I also listen to this episode. I also listen to this podcast while running because I am a narcissist. So
I listen to it because numbers. You gotta get your numbers up. Also, I do want to apologize in advance for any lisping this week. I did just get my wires changed yesterday on my braces, and they put in new bite blockers, so my bite has shifted again, and so I am lisping a little bit.
Tuna
This is the
melts.
first, tuna melts. Tuna. I'm kidding. That was exaggerated. Tuna melts.
Mal's S sound at the end was more exaggerated than Camille's, and Mal wasn't even trying.
No, I was trying. I was intentionally trying to lisp. Because I was going to say there's nothing to lisp in Tuna Melts. Because in case you didn't know, this is the Tuna Melts episode. If that wasn't clear by the everything that's happened so far.
So book club thoughts. We now, keep in mind, you guys, we're recording a couple weeks in advance because, Robert is going to hopefully stop having a boyfriend soon and leaving the country to make that happen. Mal is going to run a marathon in London, so they are leaving me for a couple weeks, and so we're recording in advance. So,
listeners, when you're listening to this, I'll be engaged. That's crazy.
And I will have already run a marathon, so not that I haven't already run a
Camille,
marathon.
we need to make something up that's cool that we have done too. Yeah, and I'm gonna finish building a house when we come back, so okay.
And I'm going to have married a billionaire.
When it's time to eat the rich, and I now have to eat Camille because she's married to
Hey, yo.
Whoa, that's gay.
Hey, yo.
No, I was going to say you can't say engagement without the word gay, so.
That is true. And so all the heterosexuals have been doing it for years. Stolen valor.
You stole it.
Gay
yeah,
is
exactly.
right in there.
All right, book club thoughts. I recently said that I didn't understand why it said assistant captain in the book instead of alternate captain. Candace has clarified in our comment section that apparently Canadians do use assistant and alternate interchangeably. I don't like it, but okay, thank you very much for clarifying. That's very helpful.
Who died and made Canadians in charge of hockey? That's my question.
Yeah. We also got an email from Anna. We talked about the change between Shane's internalized homophobia in the books to Shane's internalized racism in the show, and just how he struggles with his Asian identity. We did get an email from someone who disagreed with, and that was an email from a listener that we were reading that we thought was very insightful and really interesting. We do want to highlight, we got a email from someone else who disagreed. So of course there, valid points on every side, but wanted to read this one from Anna. Anna is an Australian-born Chinese person and said, certainly don't want to invalidate anybody's opinion or experiences, but would argue that Shane in the show is actually quite neutral when it comes to his Asianness. He certainly understands the burden of representation and is acutely aware of the ugly racist things that he has faced or may have to face growing up in a mostly white world. The conversation he has when he meets Rose and talks about being the Asian kid with the Western surname is most illuminating, but in terms of internalized racism, I can't say I see much evidence of it during the few scenes we have where Shane's Asian identity is brought up. Instead, I see a rather pragmatic neutrality towards it. It doesn't seem like something he wrestles with, it just is. Just my 2 cents. Wanted to highlight that. We also had some people who were gooped and gagged by the random use of the word bukkake in a recent episode. I would like to say, blame Francis Dominic. A lot of you are probably familiar with who that is, and if you don't listen to our episodes on the pit, Francis did join us for episode 14.
Well, and the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Robert bleeped it in the pit.
I did not. Straight up just the word bukkake.
Oh, then it's just bleeped in the clip.
Socials.
Okay, never mind.
I'm confused. Were people offended by it, or they
No.
No, they were caught off
just
guard.
like, whoa.
Someone said they paused to go get a snack, and when they came back and hit play, the first word that we said was bukkake.
Nice.
Yes. I would like to read the opening paragraph of an email that we got because it really tickled me when we got it last night.
Can I say, this email was incredibly kind. Gave me a bunch of big fuzzy feelings, so thank you for that. But yeah, the opening to this email was incredible.
The opening paragraph, I was at Emily, who was our last guest, I was at a reading of her musical last night, and I was literally like, you have to read this because this is hilarious. Okay, so it starts, Dear Chuckle Pucks. Fantastic. I couldn't decide on which order to put your names in when I started listening to Puck Crew, so I did this instead. I know that there's an established order, but all 3 of you are important, and it would be weird to type out every combination of your name to fit first billing, best for last, and happy little sandwich filling slots. Now you're like the Catholic Trinity, but queer and not the same guy. To which I respond, how do you know we're not just the same guy? How you know? We could be. Also, I sent this to them and I said, tag yourself, I'm the sandwich filling. So
We are actually just one really talented voice actor.
I thought you were going to say we're one really talented sandwich.
Also, Mal, Allison wants you to know that Anne of Green Gables is very gay-coded and said that you should read it.
Totally, yeah.
okay, fantastic. I'll check it out.
So it really is
Technically,
gay.
anything's gay coded if you're not a fucking boring person.
Well, yeah.
Listen, the influx of shows and movies that have canon queer characters is spoiling the masses. We were in the trenches in the 2000s and 90s being like, those two girls looked at each other, they're totally gay. They don't interact ever again. They're totally gay!
Me with Rose and Svetlana, who have never canonically met.
Yeah, seriously, me too.
I mean, they
okay,
do.
in the books they've canonically met, but like in the show universe, in which Svetlana actually like matters more, they have not met.
I will say, I just finished up an interview or a conversation with a journalist about shipping, because they're writing an article specifically about shipping and as it relates to the pit. So I did just wrap up. And if that is, it should be released by the time this episode is released. So if it's not like me taken way out of context, I will link it in the show notes so that you guys can read it, because that was cool. And also, one last thing I wanted to bring up. We got a comment from Angel Wings 4191 on YouTube. They said, howdy, I think that he doesn't deserve ... anything regarding Shane at Rookie of the Year, thinking about Ilya, is very much him getting mad at himself for being so desperate to see Ilya, basically thinking Ilya doesn't deserve me wanting him this much. Very much a, why am I like this? He's not worth it. He spends the whole night pissed off at his own longing for Ilya. So, I agree. I agree with that. Into the chapters. Chapter 12 is October 2016. We are in Philadelphia.
So we have over a 2-year time jump, because we were last in June 2014. So
We missed a lot of fucking, you guys.
we sure did, and a lot of angst, clearly.
We're catching up. We're caught up with the prologue timeline, October 2016. So that was one of the first things I noted. I'm like, we're caught up. We're back. We're in the future, and it's so bright.
Is it?
Oh, also, reminder, the prologue of this book also happens in October 2016. So somewhere
Robert
in
just
here.
said that.
I just fucking said that.
I don't listen to Robert. I'm sorry. Bye.
No, I was going to ask you the question I usually ask Camille. I just said that. Were you either A, not paying attention to me, or B, just wanted to repeat what I said to be funnier?
No, true. This is going to sound awful. I did not even know Robert said anything.
Love you too, pal.
I don't know where I was. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, well.
Fuck me. I need to go. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired.
You know who else is tired? Ilya, from pinning men under the weight of his body.
I was gonna say, the man that Ilya has pinned under his body.
He also does the knee thing
Oh yeah.
in
Yes,
this scene. And
you're
so
so
it's like, oh, this is kind of sexy, and then it's like, oh wait, no, this is a hockey game.
Ilya Rozanov, the lesbian of bisexual men. We see you for what you are.
So yeah, it turns out this is a hockey game. And as the man skates away, because the ref is like, okay, knock it off. And as the guy skates away from Ilya, he calls him a fucker. And Ilya's like, well, that's not very nice.
You said bad word.
I love chirpy Ilya. I love getting to watch Ilya play hockey. Those are moments that I cling to.
It also feels like he could chirp back a little bit and be like, yeah, you're right, I do fuck a lot of girls. Like, what do you want from me? Like, fucker, yeah, that's what I am. Your mom is next or something. I don't know.
We get a lot of the crowd, like a lot of the crowd reaction to Ilya, where they're telling him like, fuck you, Rozanov, you're fucking pussy, Rozanov. Go back to Russia, you piece of shit. I completely forgot the context of this scene, so before we turned the page, I just wrote, Ilya Rozanov is being asshole.
I mean, he kind of is. Mal, this is what you were looking for.
Yes.
This is what you were referencing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember Ilya saying at some point that his favorite sound is, being on the road and like hearing the sound of a team so gutted by their performance they couldn't even bother to boo. Incredible stuff. It is real. I was not mixing up my canon and fanfiction. Likely thing for me to do. And also, Ilya says Philly is not an easy city to silence, and I just really need to know, is Gritty there?
I hate Gritty.
Is Gritty a member of the Game
I
Changers
don't think that Gritty existed 2018.
Yeah, oh
yeah,
shit.
Gritty did not exist yet.
Okay, so Gritty was not there.
Gritty was out back in the dirt where they should have left him.
Oh my god, I can't believe these two fucking predates Gritty. Philadelphia sports teams have, like, really fucked up mascots because, like, the Philly Fanatic is also a sleep paralysis demon. Like, I hate that guy too.
That's a great way of describing that.
There's a very popular meme that went around a while ago because I presumed sports was happening. And the meme
As
was
they
like,
are wont to do.
yeah. Philadelphia, whether or not their team wins or loses, and it's like a scene of a nuke going off in a city, destroying the entire city. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much right.
Now everyone from Philadelphia hates us.
Did their team win or lose?
I'm thinking of a Tumblr post, I believe. The only thing I remember is the response. I don't know what it was. And it was like, so close. Actually, you're thinking of that fucked up freak, the Philly Fanatic. That's how I feel about the Philly Fanatic. Anyway.
We get introduced to Brad Hammersmith, who is a veteran forward, and he's about 100 years old, so...
Younger than Scott Hunter.
I know, I'm like, younger or older is he actually, though? I wonder. Because Ilya truly is older, he's like older than me, 100.
In terms of book canon, this is probably... I would imagine Brad Hammersmith is older than Scott, because
Probably.
At this point, they're what, like 20...
I wouldn't call Scott veteran yet.
Yeah, because Scott's only like 3 years older. Like, Scott's not even 30 at this point.
No. Old
So...
man, though. That being said, for some reason, just because about the whole, oh, he's 100 years old, I did write in my margins, old man, yowie, question mark?
Oh, no.
Brad Hammersmith is the most gay porn name I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Give him the hammer. And the hammer's just his dick.
Oh, no. Now, a defenseman skates by the bench and says, keep it up and see what happens. And Ilya says, I know what will happen. My team will win. And the defenseman says, suck my dick. And Ilya, does he say it?
No, he
thinks
it.
He thinks.
He thinks it?
Yeah, he thinks. Best blowjob of your life, sweetheart. Really does take some of the sweetness out of him calling Shane sweetheart.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Just because you hate pet names doesn't mean that.
I do hate pet names. I'm sorry. I know we had this conversation last time.
So he fucking winks at the guy. And my note was just, get him, baby.
Get him, baby.
Like, that's my boy. Get him.
Get his ass, baby. I've got your I'm just like citing Tumblr posts. I'm sorry.
To me, this is partially what makes Ilya so good at fighting and chirping, is that he doesn't get heated by these things. Like, oh, suck my dick. And he's like, wouldn't mind it. It does not rile him up the way it was intended to.
He's like, yeah, you'd probably like that, wouldn't you?
He only gets heated up by his rivalry with Shane. Ooh, they should call this book Heated Rivalry. Ooh.
I think if someone told Shane to suck their dick, like, Shane might just die on the spot.
Some people have asked me to speak more about why I think that in episode 3, Scott saying you're starting to sound like him is like a homophobic chirp. And that's my point, though, is that I'm like, if you say that to Shane, you're gonna upset him. If you say it to Ilya, he's gonna be like, fuck it, you know? And so, like, that's kind of my point, is that for Shane, that's an insult. It's he feels caught, right? Like, that lands. And that's why I think it was intended as, because why else would he say that? He's chirping, right? He's trying to get at him and get under his skin. So why say something that winks and nudges at some gay shit unless you're trying to use it to get under his skin, which means homophobic. Like, gay people can be homophobic and do homophobic things too, to be fair.
Me being gay and homophobic, more likely than you think.
I look in the mirror and I'm like, ah! No.
It's also kind of, well, actually, no, I guess because episode 3 is a flashback. I was going to say at that point in the timeline, we've seen Shane insist to Scott that, like, oh, we're not friends. Mm-hmm. Both at the Rookie of the Year and then at the Olympics, when they ask about, like, how he's feeling, Shane's very much like, we're not friends. We're not friends.
With tears running down his face, like, I'm not friends with him. I don't like him, please.
Because, like, Francois has said that Scott did not hear the exchange of room numbers. So if that is true, it may not even be homophobic at all. It might just be like, you insist that this guy is not your friend, and yet you sound just like him, bitch.
And then, the appropriate response to that is, go home, you're 45, man.
You're 45 years old.
He's like, it's half true. I'm going to say the word. I am one. We can bleep it. I wrote in my margins, Lamau, me.
Okay, Robert.
Oh, we have to specify.
I am fascinated by this line.
And I'm saying it. No, I'm going to say
there are two bisexuals.
You can.
There's
We
lawful
bleeped
good
it.
Bisexuals, and there's chaotic neutral bisexuals. I'm
this-
chaotic
well,
neutral.
Robert, you said
I
that.
can't put a percentage on it. I'm just out here doing whatever.
Everyone here can say it. We're
But
all
I
queer.
guess, like,
I did say
Ilya's
I'm
a
gonna say the
lawful
word,
good
and we're-
bisexual, but I'm wondering if he's just basing that off stats. Because if he wasn't in the NHL, I bet he'd be fucking men, like, just as much as women.
I think he's a chaotic good.
I think if like you really ask, like if I asked myself internally, like, okay, what's the percentage of bisexuality in my soul? I'm like, yeah, 30-70, 30 guys, 70 women, and that's not like based off any of my experiences. That's just like my general attraction to people.
Yeah.
That makes the odds of falling in love with Shane even more special. Like, I have no if you ask, gun to my head, kill me, I could not put a number to it.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Take one of those like BuzzFeed "How bisexual am I" quizzes.
Yeah,
Good
there you go.
idea.
At the very moment that this is happening, Shane Hollander pops up on the Jumbotron because they're doing replays of, highlights from other games that are happening at the same time. And he's just scored a goal in Ottawa.
Likely thing for him to do.
And Ilya notes that Shane's face lights up with a jubilant smile. And I wrote down a note because I was like, we need to track.
Okay.
When is the next time that we see a Shane smile like that?
My tiny sticky note is getting very full, Camille.
But it's okay. You don't have to write it down because we get one in the next chapter. Not jubilant, but we do get a big old grin on his face.
So you answered your own question. You don't even need me. Why the fuck am I here?
I wrote down, I really love the hockey bits of this book, especially because they are written by someone who loves hockey. And it just feels very true to it. And I really I enjoy these moments.
Despite there not being that much hockey, it does feel like it is written by someone who understands hockey, because as I have been to more hockey games, it becomes more and more obvious when something is being written by somebody who has no idea anything about hockey. I've read a lot of fan fiction.
I was just about to say, I love the fanfics where they're like, yada, 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 the game's over.
My favorite is Montreal and Ottawa are playing each other for the cup. And I'm like, well, that can't happen. That I do know. I did have to text Camille if Montreal and Nashville could play each other for the cup. And Camille was like, yes, Nashville's in the West. And I was like, that's wrong. Tennessee is in the East.
If you did read a fic where Montreal and Ottawa are playing for the cup, I still want to see that because I want Montreal to fucking die. I want them to be crushed. I want someone to take a skate and just start bashing them over the head. Sorry, I'm okay.
One of my notes that I found myself writing, because I instantly remember, because, Ilya's finding himself smiling at the idea of, Shane's smile and scoring a goal. I'm like, proud husbands. When Ilya won the Stanley Cup, when Shane was like, oh, I'm so happy for him. And it's like, wait, why am I so happy? Ilya, as we find out in these chapters, is a little more in tune to his emotions, where he's like, oh, I know why I feel happy about Shane. Whereas Shane's like, fuck, I feel happy about Ilya.
Exactly. He's like, oh no. And so, of course, Ilya now is like, well, fuck, now I have to score 2 goals. This is all a competition. I have to keep winning. I have to be able to text him and be like, haha.
And I can't even put any points on the scoreboard for this because we don't know if he actually scores 2 goals and we don't know if Shane scores anymore. There's actually no points being given on my scoreboard for anything happening. Honestly, I think they should both lose points for the tuna melts situation, but we're still sitting at 6-5 in favor of Shane. So just update for everyone. I didn't forget about the scoreboard. It is still right here on my teeny tiny sticky note. And I'm also still looking for the hockey compliment because that hasn't happened.
Speaking of Shane, we cut to his POV. The first line of his POV, Jackie is pregnant.
Again?
His POV is October 2016 as well. So this is still the same time.
Do we think this is the same day? Or is it a different day?
No, because
No,
they
this
were
is a
playing
different
hockey
day.
at the same time.
Oh, they were playing at the same... I thought when you said highlight reel, I thought Shane had played in the game earlier. They were playing the game at the same time. Okay.
Sorry, I was just gonna say this is our first real interaction with Hayden. And the first real thing we find out about him, other than that he's been to Shane's apartment, because that's the only other time he's been mentioned. The first thing we find out about him is that his wife is pregnant again. And that just feels very in character.
The first thing we found out about him is that bro can't fucking pull out. Like, damn.
So on track for a young famous hockey player, to be honest. They get married and start popping out kids so young. It's insane.
Well, yeah, you got to have enough to make your own hockey team. Like, that's the goal.
I know when he mentioned, he's like, I got married at 21. I was like, 21.
That's terrifying. I was not a real person at 21.
I was trying to stay alive. That was my only goal.
The way that I have friends who are like classmates who like would post on Facebook, this is back when I fucking used Facebook, they're like, oh my god, it's got married, we have a house and we're having kids. I'm like, you're 21. What the fuck do you mean by that?
Why did you lock yourself down like that? Oh god.
Honestly, for a lot of people, it's because God put fucking behind a paywall, and some people do remain abstinent until
Behind a paywall. I'm gonna start saying that. That's fucking funny, dude.
I said that once to my mom in all seriousness, and she was like, why would you say that? That's awful. And I was like, oh, sorry, wrong audience.
So we start the chapter finding out that Jackie is pregnant, and Shane's response is, again? Amazing. Really incredible, honestly. Incredible.
But, like, is Shane wrong? 4 kids under 5 is nuts. He's got 3-year-old twins and a 1-year-old.
Okay, but also they can afford a nanny.
But it doesn't seem like they have one. It seems like they just have Shane.
I'm just happy that Hayden's at least involved in his kid's life.
Yeah.
But it also feels like if you're gonna have a nanny, you would be taking the nanny with you to the aquarium to help wrangle the kids, not your best friend Shane.
No, if I wanted to go out with the kids, you would take your best friend with you, and then you wouldn't need a nanny because you're 2 grown men and you can handle a couple kids.
Also, I have put many memes in our notes for this week, and the first one is here. And I think I put this also when we talked about this scene in the show, but the car that's got a bunch of the little kids decals in the window, and someone has written OMG stay off of her. That is Shane in this situation. He's like, my god, get off your wife.
So we have Hayden's gemstones, we have Jade and Ruby and their little brother Arthur, because PBS, I guess.
I thought it was a Knights of the Round Table thing, like King Arthur.
We've had this discussion already.
I know.
Inside you are 2 wolves named Arthur. One is named after the PBS show and one's named after the fictional king of England.
Gotta ask, is your headcanon that Arthur has autism? Now that he's a baby, you can't diagnose it. But I love the fics where him and Shane are vibing at 2,000%. They're like my favorite fics. Sorry, I'm done interrupting.
No, I love the ones where where Hayden like looks at his son and is like, wait a minute. And he's like, hey Shane, I think I figured something out about you. Hilarious.
Hayden, of course, says, the same thing he says in the show, which is that Jackie's happy and she's fucking bored, right? Boo! Boo!
Respect your
wife! Boo!
I am willing to, it is not my personal choice to have this many children. It's not my personal choice to have children at all. I can respect that, that is a lot of women's journeys and that is what they want. I can believe that Jackie Pike is happy. But for you to say that she's fucking bored and she needs a 4th kid? Hayden, I cannot defend you.
I will say, though, I do love you, Hayden Pike. I love Hayden Pike. I think he's great, especially, in the long game when we kind of get to see a little bit more. And I mean, the more we see of him, the more I'm like, he's a good dude.
I don't like canon Hayden Pike as much as I like fanfic Hayden Pike, and we can talk more about that.
Hello, audience. If you have any good Hayden fanfics, not sexual ones, I know about those ones. Men can just have friendships.
You don't ship Hayden and Cliff?
Wait, I haven't seen that one. Wait a second. wait. Pause. Shut the podcast off.
You cannot even fathom.
Holy shit. Okay. Sorry.
A parent with a toddler shoots Hayden a nasty look, and he says he needs a swear jar at home. And at first, I thought that she shot him a nasty look because he said his wife was bored. I kind of still think that, to be honest.
Well, he took it as because of the
swearing.
The swearing. I do like that they've taken this for the show and turned it into the Pikes have a swear jar, because I think that's a very funny bit.
I have a friendship bracelet that says swear jar. I also have a friendship bracelet that says you're the worst one.
Swear jar, you got to call Jackie after 5 times. And
ding, ding, ding. We've hit A jackpot.
That's when I'm supposed to text Jackie. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. We fit 5 times. That's when I'm supposed to text Jackie.
It's a really good narrative tool in TV because you have to do things faster to already set up that familiarity. Like, that's like, God, Jacob Tierney is so good at writing TV. Like, that's such a good idea to turn that one bit into be like, okay, this is something they know each other and they can. Exactly. Yeah. Damn. I wish I could write TV. Not like I went to college for it or anything.
There are so many things in reading this book that I'm just like, man, that is where that came from. And like, Jacob really ran with that and like turned it into something great. Like, I'm just, wow, what a guy. So I did write down a quote in the notes about kind of the vibes here. So here's the quote. As a man without children or a wife, Shane was in the minority among his teammates. Most of the guys were married well before the age of 25. Hayden had married Jackie at 21 after only dating her for a year. Shane had been there the night they'd met. Hayden had dragged Shane and a couple of other guys out to a club where Hayden had met his future wife, and Shane had left to have one of the most embarrassing sexual encounters of his life with a very patient woman named Ophelia. Shane, baby.
This makes me so sad.
This is something we don't get in the show, though. So I watched the show first, and I'm a bit of a show purist. Excuse me, everyone. He never talks about hooking up with anybody else in the show. I always, in my head, was like, oh, Shane just does not want to hook up with girls, so he doesn't do it. I didn't realize he had the pressure from the heteronormativists of hockey to like pressure to actually try to have sexual relationships with like women. I had no idea. I really thought he was like on the corner like, no, I'm good.
Well, I'm sure he's getting ribbed all the time if he's not taking women home, and people, I mean, like, we see Hayden consistently being like, when are you going to get married? When are you going to join me? Like, in this nightmare that is parenting and like
Jeez,
having
hey,
a wife.
You want to get me pregnant too?
I'm kind of on Hayden's side a little bit because, Mal, I've told you this to your face very recently where I'm like, I want all my friends to get into relationships so Mac and I can get more friends.
We also have, this is another change for the show, right? So in the show, Hayden is already married with the twins when he meets Shane during their rookie season. And Shane goes to dinner. They've already got the kids. Like, I guess we just had to like move around the dates a little bit, right? Because the girls are still really young.
I don't know why Jackie had to have a child with her at dinner. Like, Hayden and Jackie could have just been like a young couple without kids. Because I'm just wondering, like, because they have one of my favorite roles in the long game, and I'm like, are the kids going to be slightly older? Because in the show timeline, they would have been born slightly older.
The reason they did it, and I might be wrong, rarely I am,
to show Shane's otherness.
It's genuinely like it's a foil, it's a mirror up to Shane. Like, shout out to Hayden for being the most heterosexual person of all time. Like, got married at 21, has 4 kids already. Like, and Shane like looks up to Hayden. Like, Hayden took him under his wing when he's a rookie. So I'm sure Shane like sees this life and is like, I wish I could have that, or I wish I wanted that. So I think it's good to see him with the kids. Because also I think in Shane's head, he doesn't think he can have kids and being gay right now. He really he's like, I don't think that's a possibility.
Well, kind of at this point, he's like, no, I just haven't met the right girl yet. There is a girl out there, and I'm gonna find her.
It's interesting because when we say he took Shane under his wing, like, keep in mind they are the same age. So he took him under his wing in the idea of like, or their careers are at the same.
And in that he is Shane's wing.
Ooh, he's his wingman.
Look at me making a hockey
exactly.
joke. Whoa.
So he's his wingman, and he literally like socially takes Shane under his wing.
I also did sort of have a crisis about the year that the twins would have been born, because in the timeline of the book, they would have been born in 2013. And I'm like, oh, a child born in 2013, like that child is like 4 years old. No, that child is like fully a 7th grader. Like, they would be 12 or 13.
But if they were born in 2013, they're only 3 now.
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, in real life right now, a child born in 2013 is in the 7th grade, and that sounds fake to me.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're 12?
There's another quote. But Jackie was great. Hayden had done well marrying her, and their kids were adorable, even if naming the twins Jade and Ruby was a choice.
Choice is italicized.
So Arthur drops his pacifier, and Hayden just like grabs it, wipes it on his shirt, sticks it back in the kid's mouth.
Builds the immune system.
I ate dog shit as a kid, so
Oh God,
what can you do?
Camille.
And I don't get sick
God.
very often. I know. No, my mom, like,
Yeah, but at
apparently
what
I was, like,
fucking
in the
cost,
yard,
Camille?
and I was like, chocolate, and my mom was like, it's not, and she ran, but I had already put it in my mouth, and she was like, no!
Kids
Yeah.
these days are so fucking weak. I built up my frail immune system by eating dirt as a kid.
Kids these days only know how to swipe on an iPad. They don't know about eating dirt and digging for worms and
I was gonna say
dog
digging
shit.
for worms. So Shane loves to be at the biodome because people aren't really looking at him there, but he also is a little incognito. He's got a baseball hat and a black
I
shirt.
thought you were going to say because he's autistic.
The lighting in that room, in the show at least, seems very soothing and calming, and like it seems quiet. I'm like, this seems like it would be great for Shane.
You know what? Also, I didn't realize that wasn't like on location. That's on their soundstage where they did like the beach scene and everything.
Okay, that one I didn't clock. That one's interesting. That one's good.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking cool. Hayden leaves Shane. I love the way I wrote this note because accurate. I put Hayden leaves Shane with Arthur. Fair. Shane's a child. He leaves them together because one of the girls is trying to steal a starfish. And so we finally get to see Shane interact with kids. And like somewhere far away, Ilya's ovaries are exploding because no way.
There is also a moment here that I'm kind of a little sad that we didn't get in the show. And it's when Hayden tells the girls they're going to go see penguins. And then, penguins! Both girls squealed at once. Penguins! Shane said, clapping his hands and trying to mimic the girls' excitement. Hayden rolled his eyes. All right, children, follow your big brother Shane. He set the girls down and they each took one of Shane's hands. Shane's heart clenched. Their hands were so tiny. I'm going to cry. Their big brother Shane!
Who the fuck spelled crying C-R-I-N-E?
I did!
Crying!
I'm crying!
Crying.
We're definitely setting up a more mature version of Shane here because he's thinking about like his friends settling down. He's thinking about kids. He's thinking about how much he likes kids. Like this is not 2010 Shane. This is not 2008 Shane. This is 2016.
This Shane is a real adult.
Hayden starts trying to set Shane up with one of Jackie's friends because she's gorgeous, she's cool, she's a yoga instructor, but she's not easy breezy, beautiful cover girl Ilya Rozanov, so.
She's also not a man.
Yeah. And Shane says that he's not interested in dating, and Hayden's like, why not? You're young, you're rich, you're famous, you look like you.
And I have to read a quote here. I'm sorry, I just keep coming in with quotes, but there's just so much rich character stuff. So here's the quote. Shane gave him a flirty look. Hayden, do you find me attractive? Look, pal, if I was a woman, I'd be all over you. Shane laughed. In truth, he could think of worse scenarios than having Hayden Pike all over him, but he wasn't going to tell him that. Besides, Hayden was his best friend. He'd never had anything but platonic feelings for him. Blonde hair, green eyes, and cleft chin aside. And I was like, this one's for the Shaden truthers.
Here's the thing is that with this show and this book, we're like, surprise, like everyone's gay. No, I don't think I don't think Hayden's even the slightest bit fruity. He's very confident in his sexuality, but he's like, yeah, no, if you were a girl, I'd tap that. I need to say that as somebody who has still a lot of friends from college where we have
You have a lot of friends?
Yeah. Wow,
You went
Mr.
to
Lots of friends.
college?
I did. I never finished my degree.
Why did
though.
I not know that?
I never finished my degree. Here's the thing. I went to college for like collectively like 2 years worth of a degree because I kept doing part-time and then I just never finished. I might go back and finish someday.
That's okay. I have enough degrees for all of us.
Hell yeah. But no, like my guy friends from college and I will get on a Discord call and play video games. And Mac, my boyfriend, can attest to this. Or I'm sorry, at this point, my fiance, Mac can attest to this that
Are you sure he's gonna say yes?
yes. like out of all my guy friends, like 2 of them are straight. However, we're all constantly flirting with each other and like calling each other hot and being like, oh, we'd fuck each other, but not in a gay way. And my boyfriend is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you wouldn't understand.
I have like the beefiest note here, okay, because I kind of spiraled a little bit. So I like it's very much a part of his circumstances and all, but like Shane really does surround himself with like Caucasians, very white people, right? Like his circle is very white. It's very like hetero mask. And I was thinking, like, he has friends of color, like JJ and all the, like, he has friends of color.
He has a friend of color, JJ.
And JJ's not a good friend, and I'll stand by that.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I just can't think of any others right now. I'm sure he has other friends of color. Literally, JJ's just the one off the top of my
Shane's
head.
not
I'm
racist. He
sorry.
has one friend of color. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, okay, but Ilya's really the one that, like, pushes the door open to make Shane's inner circle, like, more diverse, more queer, right? I will say, like, my take on the fact that all of these, like, so many of the characters in this series are, like, blonde-haired, blue-green-eyed boys is, like, Rachel is trying to emphasize Shane's otherness. She is trying to make you as the reader understand that Shane is not like these people. He's dark hair, dark eyes, freckles, no cleft chin or anything like that.
Is the cleft chin a white people thing?
Well, I think when you're just thinking of, like, a chiseled, handsome white guy, like, that's very, like, cleft chin, blue eyes, blonde hair, you know? Like, it's a very stereotypical thing. And so I was like, and again, wow, I'm a white person. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt. But I do know that there are plenty of people of color who are disconnected from their cultures. It doesn't make that person any less valid as a person of color. And I started thinking about how, like, Una is a born and raised Canadian, but she talks about how watching hockey, specifically the Voyageurs with her family, is what made her feel Canadian, which hints at the fact that being a born and raised Canadian was not enough to make her feel Canadian because she's Asian. So she clearly faced racism. And then I was thinking about how, like, there potentially is something to discuss about how Una may have, like, whitewashed Shane's upbringing in an effort to try to help him, which is, like, problematic, yes, but well intentioned. And maybe that's why Shane didn't face a lot of the struggles that a lot of other Asian kids do. And also, of course, you know, he does say something about, you know, having a Western last name helped, right? But I was just thinking about how you can kind of, like, follow that thread and think about how she talked about watching hockey making her feel more Canadian, even though she's a fucking born and raised Canadian. And so, like, what racism did she face and how did she raise Shane? Did she put him in some sort of a bubble to try to protect him from that struggle?
That's a good point, and definitely, because I don't know. I think I see people online talking about, like, Rachel Reid is racist because of the way that she wrote Shane to, like, not really have this connection to, like, his Asian culture and all that jazz. But I also think it is a very real thing because in America we very much have this culture. Like, I mean, I grew up in the South in a pretty red area, and it's very much a, like, oh, but, like, where are you really from? And, like, speak English if you're going to be in America, and, like, trying to make people kind of assimilate and get rid of any culture that is deemed, like, quote unquote weird or, like, not the norm. And so I think it there are a lot of people who are people of color who had experienced things like that, and therefore are not, like, that tied to their culture. And, like, he's been in these white spaces his whole life, so, like, I don't know, I'm also a white person, so I'm just talking out of my ass here, but, like,
There are valid people of color who are not, like, deep in it with their culture. Like, that is a thing that happens and it is still a valid story and still an interesting human being.
Yuna is so pragmatic. Like, that's one of her, like, most, like, she knows how to get stuff done and she knows what to do. And I think she knew, like, from her own experience and also just, like, her experience, like, with media, which I assume she's had before Shane, because she's so good at it, that, like, you know, we have to work with assimilation and use this when it benefits us. When he gets drafted and they're like, we're so excited he's Asian Canadian, and she's like, yeah, that's like, I loved the Voyageurs, whatever you said.
Oh, the Voyageurs. Now you sound like a cat with a crispy meow.
I think this is a very realistic take on how some people deal with their identity, whether it be, like, sexuality or sex or race. Is, like, sometimes assimilation is safer and sometimes it does benefit you more.
And also, I think that there is the juxtaposition of the fact that and this is specific to the show, but in that moment when she's like, oh yeah, like, oh, uh-huh. But if you look at David, he literally makes a face. Like he like cocks his head back and makes a face like, what did you just say to my wife? And so when you have a white husband who can be there to be the one to push back against it, you know?
Meanwhile, Shane's like in the fifth dimension, just looking at nothing.
Yeah. But when you have your husband, your white husband there to play the quote unquote villain for you by like making a face at someone when they say something low key racist, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, it's not to say that people who are not white aren't allowed to criticize like the portrayal of Shane and all that jazz. Like, I think people are allowed to want him to be more connected to his Asian culture and all that. But like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like defend. Sometimes I feel like the internet just gets like really whipped up into a frenzy, and I'm just kind of like, is this really as big of an issue as like there are real problems in the world? People are dying. Racism is real. And I don't know if like nitpicking. I'm also thinking about the whole like BookCon thing and people talking about like Jacob Tierney and Rachel hate Hudson, and like I'm just kind of like,
Wait, go back. What happened? I'm not on the internet that much anymore.
They teased about how, you know, in the group chat they have with everyone, and they didn't say names that I know of, but people assumed that one person will type something like long and eloquent and very thought out, and that someone else will respond with just, yeah, dog. And people assumed that that's Hudson. Personally, I was like, I think that could have been Connor, but whatever.
personally, I think that could be both of them depending on the day.
Literally. And people have decided that was racist.
What? Wait.
People were also mad that apparently Jacob said Hudson was chaotic. And I'm just like, I would say that about like some of my friends. Be like, oh yeah, she's really chaotic, but like I love her. We have a great time. Like, I don't know. I think people.
I don't know. You don't know these people. You don't.
Yeah,
They're
people
friends,
are
probably.
being
Don't
so
be weird.
parasocial and just. And it's like, okay,
Do you really think Hudson would be best friends with someone who is racist and hates him? I think he's smarter than that.
why are you still engaging with this fandom if you want to be mad about everything that happens?
I mentioned a moment in an interview where Hudson does something and Jacob has cue cards in his hand and he smacks Hudson in the face with them. And Hudson like giggles and then puts his arm around Jacob. And that's just like, that's one of the first interviews I think I ever saw of them together. And it was very loving and very casual. And like they were very giggly with each other. And somebody responded to that and they were like, actually, I specifically remember Hudson looking uncomfortable and Jacob looking remorseful afterwards. So I clipped it and I responded and I said, you are straight up making things up. That doesn't happen. And they responded, fair enough. And I'm like, so then don't say it. Go watch it and check your facts before you get on the internet and start spreading shit like that. Like, what are you doing?
Listen, the bean soupification of the internet. It's just everyone has to cater to what I'm feeling all the time, no matter what. And it's like they're real people, so don't be fucking weird about it.
Yeah. And you don't know them, really and truly. You know the idea of them.
Robert, do you have thoughts on like the race conversation at all as the only person of color here?
Yes, Robert, speak for the whole community.
I'm gonna say that like there's always nuance in every conversation, but I really don't think the problems that people are bringing up are like something to really worry about in regards to the show and to the books and to like Rachel and all that stuff. Like I really don't think it's that big a deal. I think there's like actual racism to combat outside. There are actively people who are dying via racism that we should talk about more than like, oh my God, the way Rachel wrote Shane makes her really racist and terrible. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case.
Rachel hates Shane. I'm shaking.
I'm also not Asian, so I can't like 100% say like, oh yeah, and with like some kind of with some kind of authority, but like, you know.
I just think that there are ways to ask for or demand even better representation without accusing representation that isn't up to your standard as being racist. But I don't want to look at people and be like, that's not racist, because I don't experience racism.
Right.
But at the same time, I struggle with the fact that I'm like, we can take this idea and think about the potential nuance of it, rather than assuming that it's all stupid and surface level because it's a romance novel.
And like, if we're way off base here and we're just like white people being awful, please tell us, because like
Oh, you don't need to tell me. I already know.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of white people. Our bad,
That's
yo.
the one
I
thing
do
that
represent the whole race, and I have to say apologies.
I think that there's definitely we've heard from some people who are like, thank you for like having discussions that aren't like that are a little bit more difficult to have. And so I want to say that one thing that we would love to do with this is we want a space where we can get it wrong or say the wrong thing and be taught, right? Or have someone let us know that. We don't want to be saying the perfect thing at all times because that's not possible. And so I also don't want to like cut out and trim everything from an episode that might be taken the wrong way, right? If I'm saying something that you're like, I don't see it that way, or I think with my experience this, we want to know that stuff. Like 100%, because that's what helps us grow. But what doesn't help people grow is the immediate jump to public shaming and canceling. Like, if you start screaming at someone that they're a dumb fucking bitch because they said something that you don't agree with, they're probably not going to learn from that. Other than the fact that, you know, I was just talking to someone recently about how, like, extremism is born of all that shit. So, back on topic though, I want to say I love the nickname Hade. I love that nickname for Hayden. Hade, like that is so cute. I love that.
I wouldn't say it sounds lazy, but it does sound a little weird for me, man. I don't know. Hey, Hade,
Hade. I love it. I just think it sounds cute. Now, the next quote is Shane imagined telling Hayden that he was into men. He knew Hayden wouldn't shun him or anything. He maybe wasn't the most worldly guy, but he wasn't a bigot either. Worst, it would probably make things awkward between them. Maybe it wouldn't, but Shane didn't want to risk finding out. There really wasn't any reason to, anyway. Shane probably would meet a nice girl someday and settle down, and then his occasional attraction to men would be moot. This hurts. That shit hurted.
He's so me. I was like, this is high school me being like, it doesn't matter that I'm attracted to women because I'm just gonna marry a man and it's fine and no one has to know. Joke's on you.
now everyone knows.
The whole internet knows.
In the POV I get from Shane in the show is that he's like, nope, I'm just a dude that likes to fuck Ilya, but no, I'm not attracted to men. It's not like that. This is not. So hearing him say it in the book was like actually kind of shocking to me. I was like, oh, he admits, at least in his head, that he is attracted to men. And watching the show, and I see him as being like, no, this is just a thing, boys do, and then I'll be done. Which he kind of says, but he does admit he's attracted to men.
Have I told I made out with my guy best friend for many years story on this podcast yet?
No, I don't think so.
I think I've told Mal. I think I've at least told you. From the ages of 13 to 18 or so, 14 to 18, my guy best friend and I would practice making out because we wanted to get better for kissing girls.
Robert, I do not think you've told me this story.
Yeah, I did actually, but also
Robert is marrying a man.
I genuinely think through that age of 14 to 18 held to 20, I thought I was straight.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people experiment. I kind of understand to a degree. I don't know. I can't put myself in that mindset because the second I was 14 and saw a girl, I was like, oh. So.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I was 14 too, and then I was like, oh, my pants.
Me too.
Now, Shane also thinks about telling Hayden that he's been hooking up with Ilya Rozanov since their rookie season. And the hypothetical look on hypothetical Hayden's face is so funny that Shane snorts out loud, and then he covers his mouth and looks at Arthur because he's about to blame Arthur for the sound that he made.
I am so excited for this scene in season 2. I am going to laugh because it's gonna be him being like, haha, Boston, wait, Wait. So you're saying, like, literally, like, it's like a 1950s sitcom, like, and you're saying that I'm saying, oh, Hayden,
I always
love you.
imagine Una Hollander sitting up ramrod straight in the middle of the night from a dead sleep and going, the elevator.
The elevator.
So 2 teenage girls come up, they ask for a selfie, and he tries to get out of it, but he caves.
It's funny to me that the girls' names are Emma and Jessica because both of the names end up in the scene in the show in that we replace the name Jade with the name Emma, and Hayden's twins are Ruby and Emma. And then he's like, oh, what about that ex of yours? Jennifer? Jessica. And so I was like, wait, these names.
Huh.
Even though the girls, like, in the show don't say their names, but, like, Jessica and Emma are still spiritually there.
So one photo, of course, which is Shane's fear, turns into him being swarmed. And he spends 20 minutes taking pictures with people and all this other stuff. But nobody asks Hayden for a selfie because they don't recognize him.
Yeah, and I can relate because every time I go out, I'm getting swarmed with people trying to take a selfie with me because I'm just, like, really good at commentary on the pit and Heated Rivalry. So, like, please, guys, back off.
Ladies.
Can I say something that's, like, kind of to boost my ego, but also makes me laugh every time?
Yes.
When I was at the height of my TikTok fame, which I'm hoping to get back to this summer when I have more time to write sketches. But when I was at the height of my TikTok fame, I was at Disney and someone recognized me and they're like, oh, can I have a picture? And I was like, sure. And then someone else was like, wait, I recognize you. Can I have a picture? And then they started to form a line. And then someone walked by and they said, what character is this for? I was like, nothing, me, it's
Your
okay.
mama.
No, sometimes I think people just, they see other people taking a picture with somebody and then they're like, oh, this person is important. I should also take a picture with this person.
Well, thanks for downplaying my success. But...
well, no. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, that's probably what happened to Shane. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, most of these people are not even, like, hockey fans. They're just like, hey, this guy is somebody.
You could literally point to any person on earth and be like, that's a famous hockey player, and I believe you. And I'd be like, yeah, of course. Who could not see it?
I have such, like, blindness when it comes to famous people. Straight up, it's impossible for me to even comprehend, like, oh yeah, that's a famous person to walk past. I was like, really? I once was walking in the city and I walked past oh fuck, who's the I walked past Kit Connor once. And my friend had to point it out, like, hey, that was Kit Connor. I'm like, what's he doing here? He's in a show. Oh.
Wait, where do you live?
I used to live in New York. Like, I was in New York walking with a friend.
Thought you were in jolly old London.
Hayden says he never should have become friends with Shane. His ego can't take it. It's like being friends with the damn sun or something.
I thought that was cute. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I do think that Shane should have used a baby shield to escape. He should have just held Arthur up and been like, sorry now. Could you hold his baby?
Hold his baby!
They're leaving, and Hayden panics because he doesn't know if he has all the kids. And Shane is like, Ruby is hiding behind you.
I love her. She's iconic. She's the worst one.
Because she's a beast. And Hayden says he can't believe they're having another. And Shane's like, are you sure it's not twins?
Having twins is, like, often a genetic...
It's a hereditary thing.
Yeah, and so, like, they could have another set of twins. We are still in October of 2016. This time we're in Washington. Longest October ever, because at some point here we also still have to do the prologue. Also, fun fact for everyone, while this all was going on, I was making an AO3 account. I did look up how old my AO3 account is, and I did make it October of 2016. So,
wow.
Really important things happening in October of 2016.
You were just laying the groundwork.
Yeah, I was ready. I mean, I was lurking on AO3 before that. That's just, like, when I made my account.
But Ilya is not making an AO3. He is shopping for a 2017 Audi Spider, and he has a 2015 Spider. Yeah.
If you gave me $1 million and you're like, do whatever you want with it, buying a car would be the furthest thing from my fucking mind. Like, buying a sports car. I bought a Subaru because I was like, oh, I need something convenient and reliable. I don't ever want to drive in a fucking sports car.
But it's not like someone just handed him $1 million.
Well, no, he worked hard for his many millions
No,
of dollars.
I'm just saying, like, he has so much money that he could not possibly spend it all.
Well, I mean, I think he could. He could get more cars.
Yeah, I did write in the margin, a man and his toys.
Yeah, no, because he literally already has the 2015 Spider, but he's like, well, I don't have one in yellow yet, so.
Which is also so on brand for someone like Ilya to be like, but I don't have one in my team's color. Would you like to buy a new car? What color?
I did want to roast him for this, but I did look it up, and like low-key, it's kind of a cool car.
Yeah, but deadass, like, it could not handle a speed bump. How do you go over speed bumps in cars like that?
I don't know.
Really, really slowly? Do you walk them over? Is that what you have to do? But then you look like a fucking loser? I don't know. So anyway, he's barely watching the TV. It's something on ESPN. And then they say Shane Hollander, and he's like, what?
He locks in.
Oh,
It's the cottage documentary.
Oh, God. And it says, Ilya sat up. He had never seen any place that Hollander called home. 6 years in! And he's never seen somewhere that Shane lives. And they've been hooking up at Ilya's penthouse since last season at this point. And he's like, I still haven't seen this whore's house.
Still has not seen Shane's home. So I wrote down this quote. There was some footage of Hollander kayaking alone on the lake, looking serene and stupid as he gazed around at nature. His voice played over the footage, talking about the place healing his soul or some dumb shit. And I'm like, Ilya, you love that boy so bad.
Yeah. Ilya's literally talking out loud to the TV, chirping Shane. And I'm like, he cannot hear you.
He's like, Hollander, you are so fucking boring.
Pretty flexible, though, which I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, he says, oh, so fucking cute.
Then, without warning, they cut to a shot of Hollander doing fucking yoga on the dock. And Shane says, I got into yoga last year. I think it's really helped my focus, and it's definitely increased my flexibility. Hollander's voice played over a lingering shot of him holding some ridiculous pose. Jesus Christ, you are so fucking boring, Ilya muttered. Hollander did look flexible, though.
Which, I mean, hey, something to note if you're a talk to top. I mean, what?
Yeah, not too fucking boring that you stop watching.
And he does start to wonder, has Shane ever fucked anyone in that cottage?
His, like, face wrinkles up. Like, he scrunches up his nose. And I was like, is this the first, like, jealousy?
Probably?
From Ilya that
I
we're
think
getting?
It's the first time where he's thinking like, oh, fuck, what if Shane is fucking other people?
Yeah. It's the first moment of being like, wait, he's mine, though.
Wait,
Ew.
is he taking some girl to the cottage?
Some whore?
He seems it's probably, quote, some nice, wholesome girl that he had met while, ... canoeing, or whatever. So, we all assume that, like, Shane has never brought anyone to the cottage, right?
Correct.
No, I'm not convinced Shane has talked to more than 7 people in his life if he didn't have to.
But, like, it tracks because I think that Ilya is the only person that Shane has ever had sex with and relaxed during sex. Like, he does not bring stress to the cottage. He does not let stressful people into the cottage. It is a very sacred space for him. And so the only reason that he invites Ilya is because Ilya does not bring him that stress that he's trying to escape.
He doesn't let women in the cottage because he's a misogynist.
Yeah, exactly. That.
He's not, because he eats pussy. I did like that he mentioned that. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate. Well, you know, but still, he hates it, but he does it anyways, and I think that's a lesson to a lot of people.
Now he's out here like, ew, tuna served hot, but eating pussy.
Oh, it's fucking funny.
So,
Yeah.
So Ilya also did one of these little day in the life kind of things, but he was showing off his cars, which is a totally different vibe. And I thought about how when Ilya lets the camera crew in, he shows them the front. He shows them Ilya Rozanov. He's got fancy cars and a boastful attitude, and he's confident and cocky. And when Shane lets them in, he actually like lets them in, right? Not fully, of course, but they do get to see what Shane is like. Because this is very accurate to what Shane is.
Yeah, no, I think Shane's like whole deal is that he's sort of wholesome. Like this aligns with the image that people have of Shane. And so while he's not fully letting the people in, he's like able to let them in enough. Ilya's whole thing is sort of almost not like contrary to who he is, because like I don't think that like
He's very mushy inside.
like he's very mushy inside, but he is also like kind of an antagonist and kind of an asshole, and like because like he genuinely has fun doing that. So it's like he's very different in different contexts. You know?
They say it. It's like he's the golden boy and he's like rock star.
And like, but Ilya can't risk letting that front down because Shane's known for being wholesome. So it's no risk to show that side of him.
Yeah, bad boy Ilya Rozanov starts showing off his like cottage and doing yoga. People would be like, what?
What the fuck is this? Right. They'd be like, what did he do? What is he trying to do PR to cover up? Right. And so he's a big softy, but he can't show that side of himself without risking his image, which is very important to any celebrity or anything, is image, right? That's what you sell.
And I love Ilya's thoughts here. Here's the quote. But that's the way it had been for over 6 seasons. Shane Hollander was the wholesome, heroic sweetheart, and Ilya Rozanov was the obnoxious rock star. They were polar opposites, according to any NHL analyst, and therefore destined to clash forever, neatly dividing hockey fans in the process. It's the way it should have been. Shane and Ilya were opposites in almost every way imaginable, but it was getting harder for Ilya to deny that there was something in his core that was drawn to Hollander. Instead of getting him out of his system with their hookups, each one just made him want him more. It was dangerous fucking stuff.
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed.
Spoiler. This is what's going to make them like explosive together on the Centaurs, is the fact that they are opposite players. They don't play the game the same way. This is exactly what's going to, because it's going to keep other people on their toes. They're not going to be on the same line. And so you're going to have a very calculated player in Shane with shots that you don't see coming. And then you're just going to have Ilya out there who is physical as fuck and is going to get the puck in that goddamn net.
And you get them both out there together on the power play. Whoo! Forget about it.
Exactly. Man, I want to see the Rozanov on a shootout.
God, I know.
That's what I want to see.
I can't wait to see the Rozanov.
Does anyone have any thoughts on Chapter 12 that we want to go over before we head into Boston?
Chapter 13, November 2016.
Boston.
And I would assume the prologue has happened sometime between these other chapters and then prologue. And then there's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, and then it's tuna melt.
So Shane tells Hayden he's going to go meet a friend, but it's not that kind of friend.
Liar.
And his insides are roiling with shame and fear and anticipation. It's interesting how as the descriptors continue, they get less negative.
Mm-hmm.
Shame, that's really bad and icky feeling. Fear is something that you can say, like when you are really, really nervous about something, you can trick yourself into being excited. Just be like, I'm just excited. That's why my pulse is racing. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. So like there's less of a threat than the shame, and then anticipation. So I just thought that was interesting, that the more descriptors we use, the less threatening they are. They have the whole evening free. And they've moved their Boston hookups from hotel rooms to Rozanov's penthouse.
Which, again, I love how Ilya is more figuring out what this is and more open to it and, like, more affectionate, as we're going to find out, and more ready to take that step, I think, in a way, because he's the one who is inviting Shane to his home. Meanwhile, Shane is like, I got a fuck condo specifically for us. That's not really where I live, but that's where we're going to fuck.
Well, and we talked a lot last time about how do we get from Vegas to tuna melts, because it felt like we were almost on the right path, and like Ilya is head over heels in his POV there, and I think like Ilya is still head over heels. Like the issue here is like Shane gets in his head.
Again, I would like everyone to keep in mind that Rachel has said that everything that Ilya does in this chapter is very intentional. The tuna melts and putting hockey on the TV and having sex as soon as Shane gets there. Like all of this is incredibly intentional.
Putting hockey on the TV like it's a toddler like sensory video is so fucking funny.
He knows this man.
Shane watched the dancing fruit.
And the quote is, Shane had been against the idea at the time, arguing that he didn't want to risk being spotted entering Rozanov's building. He had legitimately been concerned about that, and still was, but his real objection, the one that he didn't voice, was that he didn't want to make what they were doing seem more personal. Meeting in hotel rooms or at Shane's investment property was one thing, but every time Shane went to Rozanov's actual home, he felt his world tilt a bit. It was an extra layer of wrongness thrown on top of the mountain of bad ideas that they had been scaling for 6 years.
I underlined the fuck out of that particular line. I'm like, Shane, there's no extra layer of wrongness. You're just hooking up and you both like each other and you're trying to figure it out. Like, buddy, you're being a little too dramatic.
Well, I was actually thinking, what word is he replacing with the word wrongness? Is it comfortability? Is it normalcy? Because if you read it again, he felt his world tilt a bit. It was an extra layer of normalcy thrown on top of the mountain. Like, what word is he tricking himself into thinking is actually wrongness?
An extra
Personal.
layer of comfort thrown on top of the mountain of ideas. Like that'd be my thing. Especially with how easily they sort of like fit into the puzzle pieces of like what a couple does. But Shane freaks out. He's like, oh no, we're not a couple. The building blocks are there. A lot of his internal monologue in this fucking chapter is him being like, oh no.
There's so many, oh God, oh no.
This whole chapter is Shane realizing this is not situationship behavior, to steal Robert's term.
Finally, fucking vindication.
Like, he's like, this is not
I
casual.
thought Robert
This is
was
not
going to
casual.
say, finally, a cited source.
Finally. No, actually, I came up with, this is not situationship behavior. I don't.
Oh my God. I'm gonna explode.
Sorry, no, you go. I just wanted to explain my meme.
She was like, when you go into the notes today and it's just full of memes, please know that it was very fun. Guys, there's 2 memes. That's it.
Yes, but then I also like changed this meme to make it more accurate for Shane. So this is the meme that's like a text conversation in which the first person is like, I mean, if you're ever bored and want to talk on the phone, I would not be opposed. And the other person replies and is like, that's a pretty big step. We've never talked on the phone before. And the first person replies again is like, you've been inside me. And like, I've never read something that is more Shane and Ilya. So I updated it to be, I mean, if you're ever bored and want to come over to my house, I would not be opposed. That's a pretty big step. We've never been to each other's houses before. I've been inside you.
He's like, you are my house. I live inside of you.
It's like, okay, we've been fucking for years, but coming to my house is too intimate?
Coming in my house is too intimate?
Coming in my ass is fine. Coming in my house. Also, it's not even a house, it's a penthouse apartment.
I like that. Okay, but I will say the added threat of that, the added risk that it's a penthouse. There are plenty of people around who could see him and be like, why the fuck is Shane Hollander? Like,
Yeah.
Ilya's neighbors know that he lives in that building.
I live in Boston. I've seen those penthouses, and I hate to break it to you, but it's old gay men that live in that building. I don't know how much hockey they watch, but anyways.
But they can smell gay.
I don't know. I feel like if somebody kind of famous lives in your building, even if you're not a hockey fan, you're still like, yeah, Ilya Rozanov, the hockey player, lives in my building.
Wait, and this kid came here. Who's that?
So Shane told himself that he would talk to Rozanov tonight, that he would end this thing, and then he would go back to the hotel. He had lost count long ago of how many times he had broken this promise to himself over the years. Well, something's gonna happen tonight, buddy.
He's going to try. But no, this is why, because people like to say when they watch the show, they're like, what do you guys think Shane wanted to talk about? And I'm like, read the book.
He wanted to break up with him.
He wanted to break up.
He
when
wants
he
to talk
says,
about the
do
same
you think
thing.
we should talk? And Ilya says, no, after.
It's
That's
the same
what he's
thing
trying
he's
to
been
talk
talking
about.
And then after, he just
Doing
got it fucked out of
for-
him.
Exactly.
I mean, here's the thing, is that for the terminology of break up typically more associates with like a relationship. You break things off if it's a hookup kind of thing. That's sort of what like English vernacular has taught me, and also my personal experiences. You break up with a partner. You break off a hookup
Yeah, he wants
relationship.
to break
A
up
piece of
things
that
off
Kit
with Ilya.
Kat bar. By the way, how are you doing working through all the Kit Kats that you stole? That was bananas. The tons of Kit Kats that were stolen in Europe.
Oh.
Oh.
Ilya answers the door shirtless, to which not just shirtless, but with low slung sweatpants. And I'm like, oh, he's showing off that slutty waist.
Yeah, he's showing off the cum gutters, and Shane folds. Also, Ilya doesn't even say anything. He just walks to the bedroom, and Shane's like, the fuck is this? You're not speaking to me anymore? You just expect me to follow you like a dog? And yet, here we are, in the bedroom.
I love how Shane's like, it's ridiculous how I got disrespected. Okay, can I stand? Okay, my knees are gonna go here. Okay, here we go. Like, and me, like, it's like the same sentence. He's like, how dare you disrespect me? Okay, so we're doing it? All right, great.
I can't believe that you didn't even talk to me. Where's your dick, good
Dick.
sir?
Where's your dick,
And
good sir?
it's like he's trying to piss Shane off, but also I like to think that he opens the door and he clocks the look on Shane's face and he's like, shit, no talking, because if I let him talk, he's gonna say some fuck shit. And that's why Ilya just immediately like doesn't even talk, just walks to the bedroom. Because he's like, I have a plan. I'm not gonna let Shane try to talk himself out of this. And I like to think it's because he clocks that Shane does not look quite right when he
He's
opens
like, this
the
man
door.
is about to try to dump me? Absolutely not.
Wait till
Yeah.
he gets a load of me, literally.
I was gonna say, wait till he gets a
Right.
load of this dumper. Y'all like a dumper?
And I love that, like, Ilya kisses him and Shane can no longer think of any reason why they might need to talk. He's like, no, this is fine.
I immediately loved the tone shift of Shane going like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to him. It's like that meme where it's like, I'm going to the store for a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, and some peanut butter, or whatever the fuck the thing is. A loaf of milk, a loaf of milk, gallon of milk. Jesus Christ. A loaf of bread, gallon of milk, peanut butter. I'm not gonna have sex with Shane. I'm not gonna have sex with Ilya. I'm not gonna have sex with Ilya. Fuck, we're having sex. But also, fuck, we're having sex. This is, I think, the first time the word relationship is used, unless I am misremembering. I did do a quick look, but like,
They usually call it a fucked up thing.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the first time where I noted their relationship was weird. Obviously, Shane knew that nothing about this was normal. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Correct.
big boy, we're using that R word.
Well, yeah, because he's like, you know, he loved reducing Ilya to whimpers and Russian profanity, and like he loved doing it here in his home. Like, Shane wants this. He wants this. He just can't let himself have this. And like it's not weird. You're on the same page. It's weird because he says it's weird. Like,
And I just did a fact check. You are correct. This is the first time that this is referred to as a relationship. The only other time before this that the word relationship is used is when Shane is like, why is he even thinking about a long-term relationship with Ilya Rozanov? Is that something he wants? That's the only time before this that word is used. So yes, you are correct. This is the first time they refer to whatever this is as a relationship.
Also, honey, it's like been long term. Oh, do I want a long term relationship? I think you ran out the clock on that one. Too
you've
late.
been fuck buddies for 6 years, my guy.
Mm-hmm. And I like soft and tender Ilya is locking in. He has clocked in for his shift. He's put his hand on Shane's face. He's teasing him because he's still trying to like toe that line, right? And I'm like, Shane, you are so close to getting it. He is so close because I don't think that Shane is like, I want a relationship with this man. I think that Shane is like, I really enjoy what is happening here. And later, this is the scene where that switch flips. That's why he's got the, oh shit, oh no, oh fuck, right?
Like, Ilya has already clocked into the I want to date Shane Hollander factory, but also, and we can discuss this more as we go, but if this day had gone according to plan, I don't know that Ilya was really ready for Shane to say yes either.
Yeah, that's interesting. How would that have gone? That is an interesting thought.
Because I think about, like, he comes to the hospital
He what?
with the intention of, like, breaking up with Shane.
I think my idea was like, he was like, I want this out of the relationship. I'm not going to call it a relationship though. He's like, oh, like I want those comforts of a relationship, but we're just two bros fucking. Like, I think he wouldn't label it a relationship at that point.
I think that he would have, but I think that the reason that he avoids that is for Shane's benefit. I'm again scared kitten Shane Hollander. I really think that Ilya caters everything he does and says to Shane and his comfort. But Shane is like, we just really like fucking each other, and no one can ever know that. And they really don't need to know that we like fucking men at all. They really don't need to know that. Meanwhile, Ilya is getting to the Ilya that we all know and love, who is ready to just like burn it all down, right? I don't give a shit. He's coming into that.
No, I also wonder if perhaps, because there are some times where I'm like, okay, Ilya, you're coming on like really strong when you know how scared Shane is. Part of me does wonder if Ilya is trying to give Shane like, give Shane a reason to break this off, to leave. Because I think at this point, he, like, wants something with Shane, and he's also scared of it, but I think his fear has gone past, like, we can't do this, and is into the, like, if we start this, like, he's gonna realize I'm not worth it and he's gonna leave. So he's, like, maybe doing too much to kind of try to push Shane away before they, maybe subconsciously, like, I don't know if he's really thinking about that, but, like, I don't know.
Can I counter that?
Sure.
He's always done those things to Shane. It's just been sexual up until this point. He's always pushed Shane a little bit. He's always like, I'm going to touch your ass. How does that make you feel? Even though you're terrified. And Shane's like, I'm not scared. So he's always done that. It's just always been sexual. It's not been an emotional risk until this point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think either of them are actually ready to be in a committed relationship. Like, I don't think.
I agree with you. I think that they need to realize what they would lose first. I think Rose has to happen because they both have to understand the devastation they feel without each other. They have to understand, they have to come to those feelings of like, oh, fuck, this fucking sucks.
But I also think that they need to see that it is possible to be queer and play hockey. Like, I also think they need Scott to happen. I think there's no way that even if this had gone better, like, I don't think it would have been like the perfect bow on this relationship. Like, they're not there yet.
They can't even say first names. Yeah. Like, it's just not, yeah. So Ilya brushes his thumb over Shane's freckles. Okay, this I'm going to throw up. He says, I'd like to look at you tonight, I think. I am going to projectile vomit across the room because
no,
oh God.
This is one of the things that I'm like, Ilya, this is too tender. Like, you're gonna spook him.
I feel lightheaded.
Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna make eye contact while you're fucking him, and then you're gonna make him food, and you expect him to not spook like a horse? Like,
I really wish this was in the, because, like, I remember, like, it just cuts to Shane writing him with, he looks, when I'm writing someone, I literally look like I hate my life, and I'm like, he 10 out of 10. Like, I was like, I can't even, looks amazing doing it. Anyways, but I was like, I just thought it was another sex scene. I was like,
yeah, I mean, no wonder Ilya wants to look at it.
I didn't get that it meant a big deal that he was on top, and I kind of wish they referenced it. Like, oh, that we usually don't do it this way.
Yeah, I have it in my notes. I said this is one of my favorite sex scenes of the entire book. And I know that people love it in the show, but they love it for the raunchiness and like the stretch marks and Cowboy Shane instead of like the tenderness and the importance. And so I think this is the one, like there are a couple things in the show that I'm like, oh, they could have done that, or like I wish they had done it better. And I think this is one of those things. This sex, they could have, in the actual sex scene, done a little bit more, you know? We could have set it up a little bit more.
I remember watching it and I was just like, ooh, a new position, that's fun. And then I read the book and I was like, oh my God, it was a big deal. Like, and I was like kind of bummed.
Just to cut back a little bit, Shane is super nervous about this request, right, of being on top, because he likes it when he can close his eyes and pretend that he's pretending that it's somebody else. And here's the answer to my question from earlier when I said, you know, there's Shane scores a goal on the Jumbotron and he's like grinning and he's happy. He has a jubilant smile. This is canonically the very next time that Shane is described as like having a big old smile, is that it says that Shane grins back at Ilya because he can't help it when Ilya's laying on the bed.
Wait, he's riding him while smiling? That's creepy.
No.
Oh.
No, stop. This is not a video podcast. Stop
I was just doing something silly.
He's happy to be a cowboy.
I also am curious.
Cowboy,
like, he was like,
baby.
I can just close my eyes and pretend it's not him. And I was like, are you pretending it's another guy? Or are you pretending it's a girl? You know.
I kind of feel like at this point,
I think it's Mothman.
God, what?
There's a great smut book about somebody fucking a Mothman.
I have gandered at that a couple times.
No.
Not for sexual reasons, for pure curiosity reasons.
I'm telling you, the world building of that fucking series is fantastic. Anyway.
It's the same series.
Yeah, so it's 4 books so far in the same
myself.
series.
I'm coming to your house with a gun. What?
It's 4 different books in the same series. It's what is it? Minotaur, Mothman, Werewolf, Vampire.
I kind of wish it was, just with the Mothman. They could build a relationship together.
The Mothman is honestly the sweetest out of all the romantic pairings. He's so fucking sweet.
We're not always looking
sniff these moth balls.
That's not an exaggeration of the shit I've seen.
Like the Mothman is really like the sweetest fucking person ever.
Can I please go back to talking about Shane Hollander? Thank you. No, I think at this point, I don't know that you can pretend that it's a girl when you're like being fucked.
I mean,
shout out to my fellas who love getting pegged by women. We stand with you. Mal doesn't.
My number is 60.
I feel like pegging is slightly different. I don't actually know. I don't know what's the difference in feeling between like a dick and like a dildo. I don't know. Anyway, I think Shane has accepted that he's attracted to men. He's got a problem with being attracted to this man.
It also, there's a quote that says, "This was so fucking weird, but maybe they could just pretend it wasn't for an hour or so. Maybe they could just be two guys who wanted to have sex." And again, that's it. That's your answer to the question, is they just want to be two guys who want to have sex.
Literally,
right? If it was just two guys.
Literally, like, you can do that. You can do that. The public persona is not the real you. Like, the real you can be a dude who wants to have sex and be in love with Ilya Rozanov. Like, it's fine.
By the way, this next segment where it's like Rozanov slapped his own thighs, an invitation, and Shane went to him. I'm like, oh, I can just
Camille.
imagine. I can imagine the jiggle of those thighs. I am, as I've said on this podcast, a thigh man, and I can respect that.
I don't know if the thighs really jiggle. They're too muscular for that.
No.
Muscles relaxing. They do a jiggle thing. It's very
no, I need Camille to read her thought here because
listeners, for those of you who can't see because we're not a video podcast, Camille is like holding her face in shame.
Not shame. I'm overwhelmed.
She's overwhelmed.
What did you wait? I'm scared. What did you write about it? That you were horny? Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
I mean, it's a level of horny none of us have ever accessed before.
Not true. I said, all caps, "I just shat my heart out of my butt. This would work on me. On God, this always makes me weak." I just love this line. Are you kidding me? God, like, okay, Santa Claus, I'm coming. What the fuck? God damn. I really hope he didn't do it like that. Oh, God. I'm sorry. If Ilya Rozanov was laying there and he slapped his thighs, I'd be like, that's my chair.
And that is what Shane does. He goes.
Do you need a masturbation break and we can come back later?
No, I need therapy.
Oh, not as fun.
So then they start fucking. You gotta say fucking.
Fucking. And as they're fucking, Shane puts his hand to brace himself on Ilya's chest, and Ilya covers that hand with his own.
Great, now I need a masturbation break.
And Ilya also never took his eyes off his face except to watch when Shane started stroking himself. Like, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. The yearning.
And it's not because of the penises. Yeah.
No, not because of the penises. Because of the yearning.
Because of the penises.
This, I swear to God, this is my favorite fucking sex scene. I love this. But I fucking love this one.
The concept of Shane riding him and then coming on his chest. Oh, lock me away, throw away the key, and shoot me in the face.
And I'm sorry. The fact that he does that and Ilya says, "Yes, sweetheart."
I know.
My question is, why is sweetheart okay, but not your name?
The way that he contextualizes it, he isn't able to think about it, but also he does kind of like it. Whereas this just feels like a casual word thrown out. It's part of the hookup. Meanwhile, using his name Shane, that's personal. We've never called each other first names before. It's always been last names, to be very impersonal and very disconnected from each other, so that we both know it's just hooking up. That's it.
I mean, Shane has used his first name in the press conference. Shane did call him Ilya. at their
At
first
the
All
Nashville
Stars.
All Stars.
Yeah.
Did you remember when I said the context of having sex?
Well, yes, I know, but I'm just saying, like, this is not his first time saying his name.
This
but
is his first time saying it during sex, which is important narratively.
Okay, it is Ilya's first
Mal
time.
is nitpicking.
No, it is Ilya's first time saying Shane's name. Okay, it is.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not
Sweetheart could
Shane's first
listen.
time. Okay.
Sweetheart could be anybody.
That's true.
There's no question who Shane is.
That is true.
I
Except for the other Shane he's sleeping with.
Surprise! There's another man in the apartment. His name is also Shane.
2 Shanes. Silly
Stop
street.
it!
I think it has to do with the public versus the private persona. I think it has a lot to do with he can shut off what he thinks his public persona is when he can turn his brain off when he's with Ilya, which he mentions and he says he loves. But I think the second he says Shane, he's like, oh yeah, I'm Shane Hollander. I'm this. I think it flips a switch in him that he's like, oh, I need to be the person that does this and not this. And Sweetheart doesn't do that.
Sweetheart is just 2 guys who like to have sex with each other. Shane is Shane. Yeah, that's true.
Now, afterwards, Ilya drops down and kisses Shane. And is this also, at least for us as the audience, a new thing at this point? Making out after sex? Because they're normally just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, we're done, bye.
Well, I mean, the last time we saw them have sex, they didn't kiss at all.
They didn't even kiss.
So
It at least feels real. It feels new.
Making out after a hookup, I've been in hookups. You don't make out after a hookup. I've been dating someone having sex. You make out with them after having, if you know them. That's very tender.
okay, slut.
What, you want to see my messages? I'm afraid of no one. I fear no God.
Our group text is literally called "Hard in an Uber," so I really I believe
Because
you.
Erin said, "Guys, I'm
But
hard
she
in
was
this Uber."
hard in the Uber.
I'm hard in this Uber tonight. I'm not joking. If I was a man, I would have had an erection in an Uber. So thank God I'm not. And then get reported to Uber.
And what was it? Because I sent you the clip of, it was from their first hookup in the show. Because if you remove the background noise and you put your headphones in and listen, you can hear Shane say, I'm coming.
I'm so mad they cut it out, honestly. I here's the thing. I think me and my friend have had this discussion before where I was like, when it comes to watching porn, would you rather be blind or deaf? I would rather be blind. I'm all there for the noises, baby. I love the noises. I can go without the visuals. So the fact that the noises were taken out for me, even though the song was very beautiful, I enjoyed that I could watch it with the sounds. I needed masturbation break.
I sent it to you and you were like, do you have the whole scene?
Do you know that sometimes I scroll through our conversation just so I can pull it up for a nice masturbation session? And I'm like, thanks, Camille. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come here on my computer.
I'm so glad you don't text me that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
I think you should start texting Camille every time.
Camille, I just masturbated to the text you sent me a month ago, in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, it's just pals being pals.
So Shane is thinking about, after he gets cleaned up, he's thinking about how he should leave. But of course, Ilya pats the mattress next to him, and Shane's like,
Okay, here he goes.
okay. And he goes. And he lays flat. He doesn't touch Ilya. He's staring at the ceiling. And Ilya rolls over onto his side next to him. And it's so reminiscent to me of the first hookup in the show when they're just laying flat, staring at the ceiling. And Ilya finally rolls over and starts touching.
I was going to say jerk him off, but yeah. Yours is
he
romantic.
Starts kissing his chest, and yeah.
Well, and this is what the book said. Shane felt the same anxiety that had flooded him the last time they had been together. There was something a little too tender in the way Rozanov was looking at him, and there was something that was far too soothing about the way Rozanov's fingers combed through Shane's short hair and curved down to trace the bridge of freckles that stretched across his face.
My notes here are, hold on, I'm getting emotional. Shane, he's so in love with you.
This is not situationship behavior.
No, it's really not. And like I said earlier, Ilya has started to realize that more, which is funny because he has more to lose if this becomes a relationship. But he's more the one to realize it first, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I don't care. Maybe we can be a little boyfriendish. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for Shane to get to the point where he allows this to be a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because he loves to cuddle with that man.
Mm-hmm. He loves to touch that man.
Oh, I'm so excited to see that in season 2. Because I feel like they don't get those nice little moments, and I feel like we're going to get a lot of them.
And I
Yes.
know this is gonna make me sound like a pervert, but I am really
No,
excited to
Camille,
see.
don't say that. Not the whole
You're gonna
conversation we just had
Camille,
for 10 minutes.
Worse than anything we've already said.
yes, because what I'm looking forward to is getting to watch them touch each other in non-sexual ways.
Okay, Camille,
That
calm
was so
down.
normal.
That's the fucking
Guys, I'm
joke,
gonna say this
Aaron.
really freaky thing. I hope they hold hands and cuddle.
Robert, that is not appropriate for mass consumption.
There's another quote that says Shane had always hated his freckles. He'd been surprised to learn, when he'd become famous, that a lot of women seemed to find them very sexy. Or at least they found them adorable.
You know who else finds them sexy? Ilya Rozanov.
He was even more surprised that Rozanov seemed to hold some sort of fascination with them. Yeah, he fucking loves them.
Wolfbird, please come back. Opal, please. We miss you.
Opal, I needed to. Opal, look me in the eyes. The internet is fucking trash. People suck. I am so sorry. I know it on
My
deep
email
level.
address
I really
is-
do.
Our email
My
address
name is Erin Hattamer.
@gmail.com.
My social security number is. I will pay you $4,000. I will never tell anyone.
But no, it makes me think of how Ilya in that fic describes them as like constellations on Shane's skin. So Ilya starts pressing adoring kisses all over Shane, and he asks him to stay the night.
That's situationship behavior.
No, Shane describes them as light and adoring kisses, and he suddenly gets very sleepy because of the Russian hypnotism.
Yeah, here's the thing is that when you're in love with someone, getting into a bed with them and like getting a little smoochy, that puts you to sleep, man. I could get into a bed right now wide awake. I'm like, oh, I'm incredible. And then Mac will be like, oh, a little cuddle, a little smooch. Oh, well, it's nap time.
Ilya asks him to stay, and Shane says, "You want me to stay here?" And the quote is, Rozanov seemed to realize what he had just asked, because his face changed, and he shrugged, forcing a half grin. "I'm not done with you yet." "Oh, that was more familiar. I can't stay. You know that."
Comparing this face change that Shane notices to the other face change that Shane notices at the end of this chapter is fucking heartbreaking, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I also love, I would, remind everybody of what Miranda taught us about bids for connection, right? This is a bid for connection of you could stay, and then Ilya has to do the bait and switch of like, oh, I'm not done with you yet. Like, he has to make it sexual again.
Well, because I think he sees that he's not going to get the connection from Shane on just like he's freaking him out. So he's like, well, for sex reasons, of
For
course.
sex. For the sex stuff. To quote Shane Hollander, sex stuff. And there are a million reasons why he shouldn't stay, but Shane says okay.
Yeah. Ilya is masterminding this shit. Like, he has planned every moment of this night.
What do you think he had ready for breakfast? What do you think his plan was for breakfast?
More tuna?
Ew, God. So they spend a long time just making out, and they don't go any further than that, which is really new for them. And it says Shane really did like kissing Rozanov, but this seemed indulgent and dangerous. And I'm like, baby, shut your brain off. Just relax.
Yeah, just...
Again, I will say you will never be safer anywhere than you are with him.
Yeah.
Ever in your life.
Truly.
Yeah. And Ilya asks if he's hungry, and Shane says, for what?
No, he doesn't.
Pervert.
Not in the book. He just... Well, in the book he says for what, but Ilya just says food. We don't get the food pervert.
For food pervert. I love that.
I do love. I'm like, I did put in the margin. I'm like, dirty mind, Shane, and I'm like, it's dirty mind, but also it's maybe a little bit. It's also maybe a little bit of the autism response of like, are you hungry? Hungry for what? Are we gonna have more sex? No, for food. Oh yeah, food. Yeah, sure.
And he also says that he got ginger ale because you like that shit, right?
Ilya, stop playing it cool. You know he likes that shit.
Mm-hmm. And it feels very much like Ilya's like, let me show you how nice like domesticity could be. Like, I'm not terribly familiar with it, but we can try it together.
Like, what if you kept coming over and I kept having ginger ale and we kept making out after we have sex and we kept watching hockey together and we kept making tuna melts and lived together forever, and then we were buried in a joint grave.
Yeah, what if we had a couple children?
My new vocal tick is every time I fill up my dog's water bowl, I go, ginger ale, good enough?
Yeah. So Shane, I love that Shane's like, why the hell does he know this, and why does he care enough to buy some? Because he loves you, dumbass.
Because he's desperately in love with you and he also wants to marry you and maybe have your babies. Like, what?
And he's so casual. He's already making himself a tuna melt, so he's gonna make 2. If you even want one, okay, no. Like, as if he didn't buy the tuna specifically so he could make Shane Hollander a tuna melt.
I also think it's so adorable that Shane is like, are you thinking about like ordering takeout? And he's like, no, I'm cooking for you, dumbass. Like,
I will wine and dine this man and show him that I am wife material.
I will fish and ginger ale this man.
And and fish and ginger ale, I'm sorry.
I will fisher ale this man into my...
He, like, mentions the ginger ale again, and Shane's like, you seem to really want me to drink this ginger ale. And so, like, as he takes one out of the fridge, he's like, wonder if this is poisoned.
It's like, buddy,
It's love potion.
After 8 years of this on again, off again thing you're doing, you think he's gonna fucking poison you? I think it's actually very healthy in a relationship. Mac and I have had this talk where it's like, hey, if you had to kill me, how would you do it? And we've had that talk before. And his way is ingenious. He would just poison my food because I don't think twice before I eat whatever he gives me.
So the next quote is, Shane leaned back against the fridge and watched his fellow NHL superstar make him a sandwich. I'm like, hell yeah, bitch. Make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich,
Men belong
Ilya.
in the kitchen.
Yep.
And Ilya
And they
asked
belong
if
in
the
the
ginger
kitchen
ale
in a
is...
slutty little apron. Somebody get Ilya the slutty little apron he was born to wear.
Ilya asked if the ginger ale is good and cold enough.
Ginger ale, cold enough?
Ilya is getting a good grade in feeding your situationship, which is something that is normal to want and possible to achieve.
Sustenance.
I will say a nice ice cold soda hits. I don't know if it's global warming or if it's cheap, but anytime I buy a soda out of like the machine at my job, it's like at best room temperature. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
Can I say that one time I was at a hookup and the guy was like, I'm going to order food. Do you want some? And I was like, what the fuck? We're not married, you fucking weirdo. Get out of here. And then I got Chinese food with him. So
I was going to say,
And
what
so
the
when's
fuck?
the
You
wedding,
didn't
Erin?
eat the food? I know.
yeah, it was honestly the second most intimate thing I've ever done with a person.
Shane Hollander agrees. So
Whoa, ordering food? That's kind of a big step. You've been inside me. Anyway.
Ilya is described as looking pleased, and Shane watches him make their tuna melts, and it's a weird domestic scene. It's just not anything they've done before.
Not situationship behavior.
He puts the tuna melts in the oven, and then he grabs himself a bottle of Coke out of the fridge, and Shane notes that he knows that Coke is his beverage of choice. And then he's like, oh shit, maybe we have picked up things about each other over the years.
Not even a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke, full sugar Coke. God, disgusting.
Gross. You're gross. And I just think it's really interesting that Ilya just like leads Shane around because he doesn't say, hey, let's go to the living room. He just like walks off to the living room and leaves Shane to follow. And they go to the couch to watch the Buffalo versus Chicago game. And it says Shane sat at the opposite end of the couch. He'd first considered the leather recliner that was next to the couch. Whatever they were to each other, they weren't boyfriends. He knew how to behave around him when they were naked and pressed against each other, and he knew how to play against him on the ice, but just hanging out with their clothes on was uncharted territory.
Oh, hanging out on the couch together. Such a big, intimate step.
I do like, I remember in the show, I mean, it's not as extended in the book, but I remember in the show, like when they were first sitting there, like both like with their arms crossed like 5 feet away, I was like, this feels fucking awkward.
2 dudes chilling on a couch 5 feet apart because they're not boyfriends.
But also, like, Shane, he's literally been between your cushions. Like, please.
Yeah, like,
So
you can sit a little closer.
Can I say something controversial yet brave? I like this scene in the show better.
really,
Interesting.
There are so many lines that were in the show that aren't here that I feel like are so important. And I like in the show when he goes, like, he was like, I think I'll find someone else to sleep with me, but I'm lazy. So, and Shane goes, I don't know that side of you at all. Like, I think that is such an intimate, like, wow, I really know you moment. And like, I know what would touch you. And then the part where Shane goes, I like Winnipeg and Toronto. Ilya was like, and people say you're not funny. And then Shane goes, who says that? And he goes, me. I don't think you're funny. Like, it just is so playful, and it like kind of cracked the pressure a little bit. Like, I was like, I've read the book on and off, and so I didn't know if they were going to be in the book, and I really missed those lines because I felt like they really made some very connective, like emotional tissue between the two.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that, again, when you have a different media that you're working with, you have to build certain things in different places. You have to pick up the pace on certain things and slow other things down. I think that there are a couple things when we get into the sex scene that I am glad were changed for the show.
I'm thinking we can't necessarily see exactly what's going on in their heads and just how much their relationship has changed. And I think that sort of banter is important in showing us, like, kind of how they interact.
And of course,
our favorite line.
Jesus Christ, do you know that guy?
Ryan Price?
Except we don't get Christ, we just get Jesus. You know that guy? Ryan
Literally
Price.
sent in the group chat just a photo of this line. I'm like, the prophecy.
Which one is his book? I don't know the title. I forget.
Tough Guy.
Is that the one with Fabian?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Fabian's his boyfriend.
I know. There's too many gay people in this book. I actually am offended by it that I can't match all of them up. I keep forgetting.
All gays look the same.
Rachel
Yeah,
Reid.
seriously.
Couldn't you write a straight book for once?
Yeah. Oh my God. I was at my cousin's house the other day and she's a huge reader. And I was walking past her bookshelf and I saw a book set that had like a bunch of hockey stuff on it. And I like ran to it and I like grabbed it and I was like, and I looked in it and it was straight. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And she's like, I'm straight. And I was like, that doesn't matter. That we like
Ew.
that's straight books in this economy under this God? I don't think so.
You willingly paid $30 for a hardcover copy of a straight book, brother.
I know, literally walk outside. That's how much chemistry straight people have. Anyways.
So I will just an honorable mention to this line. I love that Ilya says that people like him in Florida because it's all Boston fans down there. Correct. Fuck the Panthers. Fuck the Florida Panthers. Forever. Ilya tests the waters with Shane by mentioning all the beautiful women in LA. And I had this moment of thinking, like, I cannot lock down what Ilya's type is. Like, I cannot get a grasp on this because women in LA look nothing like Shane Hollander, look nothing like Svetlana. Like, there's a very distinct look to women in LA. And so,
I mean, my sort of grasp on, and some of this comes from fanfic for sure, is that, like, Ilya's type is pretty much anything that moves, and the only real discernible pattern is that he keeps fucking girls that have dark hair, dark eyes, and freckles.
except Svetlana.
Right, but like he'll sleep with other things.
Other things. Whoa. We call them women now. What the fuck?
All the women.
I'm so sorry to women. Wow, okay.
And you call yourself a lesbian.
God. I don't know if I can come back from that.
I'm putting this on your dating profile.
Do you have anything to say to women for having owned this offensive magazine? I'm sorry, women. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is like art. That is such a good.
We have to keep going.
Sorry, I know. Fuck, what was I saying? No, I think like he has slept with all sorts of different women, but I think a lot of them look a little like Shane.
I think a lot of them don't look like Shane at all for a reason.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Sometimes he wants to fuck someone who looks like Shane, and sometimes he does not want to think about Shane at all.
And he says there was a girl in New York that he used to see whenever he was in town, but she's getting married. We haven't met Svetlana yet. There's no mention of Svetlana. Again, I think we're all of the same mindset.
Uh-huh. That was a great
One
change.
of the best changes. Yeah.
I think this is the first time that it really like felt jarring to like not have Svetlana. Like, as much as I love her, the book, I just kind of am like, okay, Svetlana's not here yet, whatever. But like this, I was like, oh no, he's supposed to talk about Svetlana.
New business selling fancy cars.
Sorry, I was gonna say also like that exchange between them, and then like Shane's kind of freaking out when he first goes, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?" He goes, "No, it's not. There's not anything in it for both of us." And then they look at each other, and I was like, "Who?" Okay.
Shane asks if Ilya is upset that this girl is getting married, and Ilya seems surprised by the thought because he's like, "No, not at all. Like, it's not like that." And Shane wonders if Ilya is expecting him to share a similar piece of information. And I'm like, I mean, yes. He's trying to get you to open up, but Shane is like, I'm autistic. Am I supposed to also share now?
No, every time Ilya tries to like gently try to get Shane to open up. Like, it never works because poor boy, you gotta be direct. You gotta be like, hey Shane, are you fucking women?
Mm-hmm. And then Shane says that it's hard to be high profile because it's hard to find someone to just sleep with. And Ilya says it's good to have a reliable person. And Shane, with a small smile, agrees with him.
So they were each other's reliable person. Hot.
Oh, for me, this was just a callback to Mr. Lots of Sex because they're like, never heard about you with girls, Rozanov said plainly. Well, it's private. Right, private. I keep a lot of things private. And then it's like, I like girls. It's like, yeah, Mr. Lots of Sex, we get it.
And Rozanov comes back. He's got 2 plates. He put care into arranging the food on the plates. He asks Shane if he needs another drink. Shane says no. And it says Shane kind of couldn't believe that Rozanov had made them both dinner. He found it, he realized with some horror, adorable.
I thought
my feelings are about to get so fucking hurt, you guys.
Yeah, Ilya's too, babe.
Do you like them, girls? So in the book, he asks if Shane likes them, and Shane is like, the tuna melts? And he's like, no, girls. No, girls. And Shane says, oh, sure, yeah, I like them, of course. And it says this bit of stammering did not match the answer that first popped into Shane's head, which was, not really. And I'm like, Shane, just say those things out loud. You are so close. Just say it out loud.
Close.
Ugh. And Rozanov says he likes girls, but he also likes Shane, but not as a person, of course.
But like literally everything that he's done since Shane got here has contradicted that, just by the way.
Yeah. And so Ilya leaves to go take his dad's phone call. And I love that Jacob got to explore this conversation because we have Shane, again, seeing easy breezy, beautiful cover girl Ilya, but he doesn't actually know what's happening because that's not what's happening in Ilya's life. Ilya's life is really difficult right now, especially.
And also Shane spends the entire time that Ilya's on the phone call thinking about sex with women. And no, so like it's a whole long monologue and I love it so much because I think like it is equal parts kind of funny, but also so sad. So he says, he's never really had what he would consider to be a successful relationship with a woman. He can't think of any sexual encounters that have actually been great. He doesn't really know how the girls feel about it. Maybe they're just excited to be in bed with a hockey star. And maybe that's enough to distract them from how half-hearted it all is. And he's like, he doesn't really love doing the fucking, but women are not equipped to fuck him. And he's really too embarrassed to ask. And so he more or less forced himself to endure the act of fucking women. And then he's basically like, but yeah, I'm very athletic. I think the women are probably getting something out of it. Like, God, I wouldn't do this if they weren't getting something pleasurable out of this.
But low-key, isn't that hinting at the idea that he's having sex for the benefit of other people one way or another? Either the women he's having sex with or his friends, because they're the ones who are like, Shane, hook up with this girl, she's so into you. Shane isn't doing it for himself. Like, in a way he is, because he's like, I will find the right girl, I'll find the right girl. But at the same time, he's really only having sex with women for the benefit of other people. Because it says if he didn't think they were getting something pleasurable out of being with him, he would stop altogether.
Yeah, it's not about his own pleasure. It's about them.
Not everything's about you, Hollander.
Which, like,
but
King,
this should be.
Love that he cares about women's pleasure, but, like, also, it should be reciprocal pleasure. Like, everyone should be having a good time.
If I was having sex with someone and, like, I could tell they were, like, not that into it, even if they were, like, 10 out of 10 at eating pussy, I still wouldn't want to, like, I don't know, I'd still be like, this is awkward, should I leave?
Like, you don't want to be doing this. And I mean, I think it took some, like, to me, I don't think that it's as pleasurable for the women as Shane is convincing himself that it is. Like, I feel like there are a lot of women out there who have mediocre sex stories with Shane Hollander. And I feel like if those girls started talking online, it would be like, yeah, Shane Hollander's kind of bad in bed.
And I agree with you because I think, when he thinks about sex with Ilya, he's like, I'm determined to be good at this. I want to get better at this. I want to be the best. I want to learn how to suck dick. I want to learn how to make him feel good. Like, he's like, I'm going to be the best.
I'm going to get a good grade in gay sex, which is both normal to want and achieve.
But he doesn't care about his grades in heterosexual sex.
He mentions nothing about trying to be better or get better when he's talking about sex with women.
Yeah, so he talks about imagining other people when women are blowing him.
So it says that he prefers blowjobs because when a woman is giving him a blowjob, he can close his eyes and imagine ... anyone ...
Sure, yeah, anyone, not Ilya Rozanov.
Anyone. It could be anyone.
Ilya one.
And he's like, I'm not an asshole, so I'm gonna eat pussy, but like I don't like to do it.
You hear that, Ilya? Shane Hollander is not asshole.
And he even says like he's almost certainly terrible at it.
Uh-huh. And he's like,
it's so hard to be bad at, and so many men are bad at it.
The thing that surprises me is that he's like, oh, my teammates are talking about eating pussy like it's the best thing in the world. I'm like, they are?
I know. I'm like, who are these hetero men that love eating pussy, and can they get my number?
I will 100% say eating pussy is 100% better than sucking dick. I know many people who love eating pussy like it's their day job. I don't know a single person who loves sucking dick. They like making their partner feel good. They love their partner. They love, the action of being in control or whatever. I have never heard anyone say out loud, I love sucking dick.
Also, like, sucking dick is like hard. It's like very hard to do. Meanwhile, eating pussy, you're just like, done. Great.
Just kind of looking at it.
It's one thing and it's right there and you can easily see it. I'm gonna talk to all men right now.
I hope that it's Hayden who is talking about, like, not that I hope that he's really talking about his sex life with his wife, because that's kind of weird, but like, I hope that Hayden Pike loves to eat that woman's pussy. I really do. When he's not
she deserves it.
When he's not like trying to procreate, he's eating her pussy,
I assumed all the hockey guys would be like DJ Khaled in the sense that they're like, I'm so straight, I don't even eat pussy.
Which is like, you like women. It's a women thing. Like, okay.
But
he closes out this by, maybe I just haven't met the right girl yet. Just because I haven't had my mind blown doesn't mean it's impossible. He says, there must be a girl out there somewhere who could make him feel like he did when he was with M-.
M-, not ellipses. Very important to point out. The train of thought is interrupted. It doesn't drift away.
He is absolutely terrified by the realization that no one else has ever made him feel the way Ilya does.
And the abrupt ending of that train of thought, when Ilya walks in, in my head, I'm imagining like Ilya walking in, cloaked in sunshine, like floating into the room, glitter and sparkles, blah, 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 proper noun, etc. And Shane's like, him, And I, like, this is, oh, God,
I feel like Shane has spooked himself more here, and the name thing is sort of just like the cherry on top. Like, I think him being like, oh my God, like, there is no one that makes me feel like this except for him. And then he calls him by his first name and he's like, I have to go. I can't be here anymore.
I think rereading this moment in the book, I don't think the show does it well. We don't get that like realization when Ilya walks back into the room of Shane being like, oh my God. There's no light bulb moment. And I know it must be a really hard thing to do because it's so internal, but I do really like this moment from the book. I love getting the Russian conversation, that's very important, but not getting to watch Shane have that breakthrough is a struggle to overcome.
I didn't really even walk away from the book with the understanding that like him saying his name was like the breaking point. Like I kind of walked away with the like Shane realized that he only feels this way with Ilya, and that scared the fuck out of him. And so he's going to go out and he's going to try to find anything else that makes him feel like this. And so he goes to the woman of all time, Rose Landry, which valid. But so like it was later after episode 4 had dropped and I saw people talking about like, oh, Shane ran away because Ilya used his first name. And I was like, what?
Or people said Shane ran away because Ilya talked about girls. Fuck off. Tell me you didn't understand anything.
But I mean, I think in the show it very much is like because he used his first name, but it's also not like emphasized all that much. So like I don't know. Media literacy is at an all-time low, me included, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening in this scene despite having read the book before.
I will say, I think that this is a scene that I also, at the same time, I'm very glad it got changed up for the show because Tierney did a really good job with the changes that he did make to this scene. So Ilya being the one to ask if Shane is okay in the book is a very painful reminder of how, like, in his head Shane can be. Like, Shane is so in his head, he's so internal, but that is not as likable on screen as it is in a book. Because in a book, you can, no pun intended, be on the same page as him, right?
Right.
Because you know what he's thinking. And in the show, you can't.
Well, and I especially think in the show, since we saw the conversation with his father and we know what he's coming from, for him to like come back out and have to then comfort Shane, like if we don't see Shane's internal crisis, like it would feel so shitty for him to have to come out and be like, are you okay?
Right.
So like, no, I
and
get
the reason he asks if Shane is okay is because Shane is so like startled by this realization that he's just had that he's like staring at Ilya. He's just kind of like, whoa. And Ilya's like, are you okay? And so they go back to the game, and while Shane eats his food, because Ilya encouraged him to, a little bit of a domestic dom sub. He's like, you're not eating your food. Eat your food.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about his ED in the second book.
Whoa, oh, we will discuss that.
I love how she fully wrote a full eating disorder, and everyone was like, wow, an eating disorder, and she was like, oh.
You're right.
I didn't even, because it's so ingrained in our culture. Anyways, as someone that had an eating disorder and was in an eating disorder clinic and posts a lot about it on my TikTok, I would love to sit down with Rachel Reid and be like, talk me through it. Anyways.
Yeah. I actually think there's a really interesting conversation to be had about how people are like, she's promoting unhealthy blah, 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 and she didn't even realize it was an eating disorder. And I'm like, okay, is that not just a systemic problem?
Orthorexia is the most common eating disorder, like, currently.
But they go back to watching the game. Shane is eating, and he keeps stealing glances at Ilya. And he feels like he's seeing Ilya for the first time. And I was like, did Ilya put on his husband material while he was in the kitchen? Like, what's he wearing now? And Shane's thought is literally, oh God, what the fuck? Robert, do you have any thoughts?
This is not a situationship no more.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Oh God, what the fuck? And so Ilya clears the dishes, and then he comes back and sits in between Shane and the arm of the couch, right? And
wedges himself.
Yes, kind of curls himself around Shane, wraps his arm around him, and then makes Shane cuddle with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane was surprised, but he went willingly, very willingly.
Very willingly.
Resting against Rozanov like this in his home, watching hockey, full of the food he had just made him. This was exactly what they weren't supposed to be doing. This was what couples did.
Okay, this is another one of my favorite changes from the book to the show.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I agree.
In the book, Ilya is the one to escalate things rather than it being Shane. I think in the show, it makes a lot of sense that it's Shane to escalate things because Shane is trying to escape the cuddle of it all.
Shane is trying to get them back to their typical, he's like, this is too much. We're changing too much. I mean, he's autistic. You've introduced too many changes to his Ilya Rozanov hookup routine. Number one, we made out after we had sex. Then you tried to give me ginger ale and also a tuna melt. And then we watched TV. And now we're on the couch cuddling.
And I was on top and you called me sweetheart.
And I was on top and you called me sweetheart. And I think he's feeling very out of his element. His routine is disrupted. And he's
you know what's interesting? His routine is disrupted, but I don't think he feels decentered.
I mean, I think he does, but only because he's making himself decentered. Because I think it's scaring him how not decentered. He's like, this feels right, and it shouldn't feel right, and that's making me feel like it's not right,
Shane's rigidity is failing, and he's stumbling.
I also read this in the show, at least, that he can tell Ilya just had this really stressful conversation. Like he hears it and he hears Papa. This doesn't happen in the book. And so when he comes back, he knows like Ilya needs some kind of physical comfort. And it's also him showing his way of like, I'm sorry you're going through this stressful time. I love you. This is how I can show you that I love you on a very subconscious level. But yeah.
I also think that now I will say I like the way it is in the book. I'm just saying for the show, I think it was one of the best changes because I do think that Ilya comes to the couch and is like, "Are you okay?" And so of course, like he's got this whole thing planned out. Of course he's going to be like, "Let me put us back. Let me even things out again. Let's have sex. We'll settle this back out." Like, "Oh, we kind of messed things up a little bit. We got a little off, so let me center us again." Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Because when Shane climbs on top of him and starts kissing him, he says, "Why do I need this so much?" against Ilya's lips. And he hopes that Ilya didn't hear him, but Ilya says, "Need what?" And I'm like, it's not just the sex that he needs, though. He needs to be near Ilya. He needs to be able to feel free to be himself. He needs to be able to feel like himself.
Shane has really big hands because now he's got both their dicks in one hand.
Hell yeah, hockey player hands.
Yeah.
And then my next note is literally just all caps, spit as lube.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't think because like the sex up to that point was like still kind of romantic. Like they usually don't show like the, I don't want to say gross stuff like sex, but like the ooh part. And he spit in his hand, and I remember like being on my couch and being like sitting up and being like, all right. Okay,
Robert, weigh in.
I've said this before, I think, when we covered the show, that spit is not good lube. And I'm glad that the vindication has come from the book where Shane is like, oh yeah, it's not really good lube. However, me leaking, that's lube. That's good. We're good.
It's just so hot in the sense that it's like you're so desperate. It's like we don't even have time to grab lube. Just spit in my hand.
I just like that the long game Ilya's like, "Don't worry, I have some in my pocket." He's prepared. Like he knows.
Doesn't he like hide packets of lube around the house? That dude, I'm obsessed with that.
Ilya
Stay ready
Rozanov
so you don't have to
hides
get
lube
ready.
around his home. Stay hard.
No, and I love that Shane's like, this is kind of gross, but I'm not even gonna bitch about it because it is also the hottest thing that has ever happened.
He found it absurdly arousing. My note was, "Hell yeah, Shane." And then, sorry, "You gonna come for me, Rozanov, and fucking make me Hollander" is bananas. And I'm so fucking glad that Jacob Tierney kept it in the show, and they kept the show just as horny as it deserved to be.
No, because fucking make me is the hottest thing a person can say. I'm sorry, it is.
I like how, like, you think Shane's like taking the reins a little bit. He's like, "You gonna come for me?" Like at Rozanov, and then Rozanov's like, "Fucking make me." I'm like, oh shit. Like, you thought like Rozanov would whimper or something. He's like, no.
No. Shane's
I'm gonna
the
yes
whimperer.
and this.
Ilya is classically trained in improv, baby.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes, and. Honestly, he's kind of yes-anding this entire interaction. Like, he's very much like, okay, wherever Shane's at, yes and. Honestly, he's been yes-anding Shane this entire time.
And then he yes-ands he yes-ands his way into saying Shane.
Whoa. Oof.
They held each other, both breathing heavily as they waited for their hearts to stop racing. But Shane didn't think his heart would ever stop racing. Shane. He called me Shane. He pulled back so he could see Rozanov's face and was shocked to see him staring at him with the same wide-eyed terror that Shane felt. "Ilya," he said, barely more than a whisper. Ilya didn't answer.
I love that the Ilya and Ilya didn't answer is italicized because it's like, oh, this has changed. Because this is where we swap from he has called him Rozanov every single time. And now it is Ilya. And it is crazy. It's also very interesting to me that like him saying Ilya's name is not a heat of the moment thing. Like he has a moment to be like, he called me Shane.
He thinks about it.
And he looks at him and sees that he is also scared. And he's like, we can be scared together. And then he also says his name. And then he gets in his head about it.
I really liked this in the book because in the TV show, like Ilya just says it and he's like, I'm on cloud 9, woohoo. And then Shane gets off and he's like, wait a second. Like, I like that you can see the immediate fear, like, cause it's immediately, he's like, Shane, I fucked up. Like immediately.
Yeah.
And we make fun of Shane for this, but also, like, he can go with the flow. He can eat the food. He can follow Ilya around the home. But now that Ilya is saying different things have changed. Like, it's not just his tone. It's not just the way that he looks that's softer. He's actually changed something. Like, he just said the quiet part out loud. That's why this flips.
So here's what the book says. He crushed their mouths together and kissed Shane in a raw, uncontrolled way that felt like an apology. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh no. When they broke apart, Ilya rested his forehead against Shane's and they just breathed together. Shane held Ilya's face in his hands and Ilya was stroking his back. Was Shane supposed to say something? Nothing had actually been admitted here. No grand declarations, no questions asked. It's just...
So Shane says he needs to go.
Hilarious that he can't find his underwear and eventually just decides, fuck the underwear, I'm leaving without them.
I think that Ilya sleeps with them every night. I think they've
Maybe
tucked
he
into his
finally smells
pillowcase.
them, like everyone wanted him to do in the Vegas scene.
Jacob, you prude.
And so Ilya slowly walks towards Shane and he fixes Shane's shirt. Again, Shane is like a scared kitten. And the quote is, Shane met Ilya's intense gaze. His eyes were daring him to stay. And God, Shane wanted to take that dare. Good night, Shane said, barely above a whisper. Ilya's eyes lost their heat and his brow furrowed as if he'd just realized that Shane was really leaving. Then, just as quickly, he schooled his face to its default expression of cool indifference. Shane wanted to kiss him, but he opened the door instead and darted into the hallway. He strode past the elevators, straight into the stairwell, not wanting to linger outside Ilya's door. I really like this choice because I know, like, he doesn't want to risk stopping moving.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't want to stop. If he stops, he's going to turn back around.
You gotta go.
He has to keep moving. He has to follow that momentum down the stairs and out the door.
Jogs down the 16th flight of stairs, trying to put as much distance between himself and temptation as possible. When he reached the bottom, he leaned back against the wall of the stairwell for a moment. What is happening? This was bad. This was really fucking bad. Shane's heart was racing, and it wasn't from taking the stairs. Every fiber of him wanted to run right back up those stairs and into Ilya's arms, to wrap himself around him and go to bed with him and wake up with him.
Chat, how are we doing?
Chat, we're not doing great.
Well.
Unwell. And another thing that gets me, not the thing that gets me, another thing, he walks into the hotel room and wakes Hayden up kind of in his panic. And Hayden asks if he's in love. Horrible timing. Horrible timing.
Hayden, you're an idiot, but a very emotionally intelligent idiot somehow, and I love you so much.
Hayden right now is like that Apollo dodgeball meme.
But also, like, can you say that he's emotionally intelligent? Because, like, yes, he has realized that he's in love, but also the Shane that came through the door, I imagine, is, like, panicked. Like, I feel
I'm not just saying, like, in this moment. I just mean, like, in general, I think that Hayden is pretty emotionally intelligent. I think that also comes with the fact that I think he's a good dad and he has 3 kids so far and a wife that likes him and an autistic best friend who really likes him, that he gets along with really well. And so I think that Hayden is more emotionally intelligent than we give him credit for.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like, he doesn't clock that Shane is, like, essentially has just ran out on the guy that he just realized, like, oh, fuck, I kinda really like him. Like, I kinda maybe might be in love with him. And I don't know what to do with that.
I do love that part in the book of him running away. Like, I think it would have been so weirdly cathartic to, like, see Shane panic in real time and run. Obviously, it didn't work out because for some reason, fucking Ilya has a house in the suburbs in the book. Guys, the suburbs of Boston, except for maybe Brookline, which is kind of fancy, aren't nice. So it's weird that there's this nice ass house. Like, they're fine, but they're not like fucking Beverly Hills. Like, I don't know where this house is in Boston. One of our towns is called Watertown.
Shane also, like, he says he doesn't stop moving until he is back to his hotel. So, like, you could assume that he, like, runs home. Like, he is.
Well, he stops when he gets to the bottom of the stairs for a second and then is just like, get out of here.
Yeah, and then he just, like, I guess that 10K he's been running every day is really paying off.
In the TV show, this scene feels like a breakup. You, like, leave.
Yeah.
You leave the scene being like they just broke up. And this one, it's a lot more nebulous.
And Shane goes into the shower to freak out in private.
That's the end of this roller coaster. That's only really actually just begun. So,
any final thoughts on these chapters?
I don't know if I have any final thoughts. It's good. I like.
Tuna melts. I ate the whole thing. It didn't really grow on me. I still think that it would be better without the cheese, and it would be better if it was cold. I love a tuna salad wrap. I think that's what I wanted.
When you come to visit me this year, I'll make you one.
You make me a good tuna melt? Okay, great.
Yeah, and a ginger ale.
Is that a bid for connection, Camille? I said this in the podcast back when we were watching the show, but I think there's a big difference between, at least in this context, being bi and being gay. Like, I feel like Ilya can be like, well, I still like girls. Like, he's more chill with it. Like, being gay, like, that's like a corner you can't turn around from, is like outward saying like you're gay. And I think Shane's still at the point where it's not even about a relationship necessarily. Like, it definitely is. But I think to a bigger degree, he hasn't admitted to himself that he's gay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing is to come through. Luckily, Rose Landry's there to clock him immediately.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We love her. What an
she
icon.
Says, no more of this puss for you.
Dude, how many gay boyfriends has she had? At some point, it's her fault.
I think it's like 4.
Okay, at that point, Rose, what are you doing?
Okay, but listen.
That's why
was
she
the
gets
joke
a
wasn't it in Connor's SNL monologue where he was like, Heated Rivalry taught a lot of straight women that their type is actually just gay man?
I mean, yeah, same.
I think Rose Landry's type is gay man.
That's fair.
All right. Next week, we're going to be talking about chapters 14 and 15. We will be joined by Jess K. Hardy, a romance author, and a friend that I made on Threads.
We love making friends with strangers online.
Woo! It's how the best friendships are established. That's how we met each other.
Yeah, we were all strangers that met online. And then I went to Camille's house and I was like, I don't know if I know Camille that well. But it all worked out. I didn't get murdered.
Wait a minute, this is what they said not to do.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all, so long, fellow losers. The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. This episode was edited by me. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes. Our art is by Rand Pacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rand Pacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitgroupodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.